timeline reaches its Armageddon. What's a kid to do?
I'm not a...
Snag the keys to your mom's experimental ship, of course.
That's not quite how it happened.
Drift aimlessly in the rift between dimensions, trying to figure out how to operate it.
Now hold on a sec.
Pick up a few hitchhikers.
Hi!
Hello.
And maybe solve a disturbing mystery that could lead to the destruction of reality itself.
You know, if there's time.
There's always time.
I'm not so sure about that.
Get in on the adventure with the Rift Riders on Indiegogo.
I love Rodney Dangerfield. He's so great, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Guy. What a funny guy. Guys, we got a great show planned today. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a fun morning. It's going to certainly be a good time.
Okay, so look, we can't have this low of energy. Somebody needs to pop up. I guess I will. I was thinking of stretching. I'm like, come on, Luke. Oh, Luke's not there. Look at Randy. Randy's like,
all that energy, all that.
I don't know Ed enough to know if I can provoke energy. So wake up, people! Come on.
I just got out of bed like 10 minutes ago, so I'm gonna get the energy. The caffeine needs to start.
It's gotta happen
in my body. It hasn't quite hit me yet.
Got three sips into this.
In these parts, you know, it's part of my job to be the guy who steps opposite Luke. So if Luke comes in with the hug, I gotta be like, come on!
It's just so cold here.
Whoa.
It's 49 degrees.
Oh no.
Whatever will I do?
That's still shorts weather up here.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm so glad I moved from the north, man. This is you can see I'm in my hoodie. And I'm trying to hunker down. I'm like, yeah, let's go, guys. I wish that bacon was real so I could warm up on it.
Here's what's wrong here, okay? You were born an Indiana Midwesterner who should be able to go, well, you know, as long as the wind's not on, it's not that cold, you know?
Right.
But when you died and came back, you came back in Florida.
I came back a full Floridian.
You lost all your Midwest tolerance powers.
Yep, it's all gone. Yeah, when that skin grew back, it didn't grow back thick. It grew back this You know, I mean, I'm still not afraid of hurricanes. Yeah. Like hurricanes blowing, what you gonna do? I don't know, just wave at it as it goes by.
How's everybody's week doing? Everybody get anything done this week, or are we just kind of slumping our way to Friday, guys?
I spent the most of yesterday drawing, and then didn't work, so I wasted my time really.
Oh boy.
It looked okay when I was doing it, but this, last night and then this morning, I thought, no.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
No. So I don't know whether to finish it off or whether just to leave it. I think I'll leave it and just do something else. That's what I intend to do.
I've had those days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are the worst ones when you think you got something good accomplished and then you look back at it the next day and realize, all right, off it goes.
Right.
I mean, for me, it's writing, and I have a file just called crap writing, and I throw it in there just in case I want to revisit it one day. And
exactly,
there's a nugget of something.
That's the key. There. That's what I keep telling people, Ed. Never throw anything away. Always keep it, whatever it is. Even if it's your vinyl records, keep them. Keep them. Mm-hmm. Keep everything.
Glenn is saying be a hoarder. That's what he's saying.
Be a hoarder.
Be a hoarder.
I have a DVD collection bigger than most libraries. I really do.
Mine's over there.
And every time I go to say, well, this is stupid, I'm going to get rid of them, because I have literal shelves in my basement of DVDs I've acquired over the years. Because, there are all these streaming services. One of them go, well, we're not running this anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, as long as my DVD goes through the little player, I keep watching it.
It's the same thing as your pencil, you see. If you're using the computer to do your artwork and it all goes down.
Glenn, I'm going to have to boot you out of the room already, aren't I? Gee, show Pete.
Well, you know what?
Starting with this already.
No, Glenn set himself up. That is true. And you have the lovely art piece that when it works, you have a lovely tangible. But when it fails, you also don't have an undo button. So,
right, yeah.
Let
me go back and fix that.
It goes both ways, gentlemen.
Yeah, but I still have a piece of crap art that somebody will buy, and I can redo it again anyway. So,
have you heard of an NFT, by the way?
I can sell it as unpublished, never seen.
Yeah, there are people selling. There are people literally selling NFTs for tens of thousands of dollars out there.
See,
NFT is nothing more than a JPEG.
The worst thing I did was years ago. I told you when I was writing my book about the Kennedy assassination, and I got up on a Saturday morning and I wrote the best thing I've ever written up until lunchtime, and I wrote about 4,000 words in 4 hours. It just flew out, and it was brilliant, even though I say it myself. And then at lunchtime, I thought I'll have some lunch and come back and edit. So I said, I was talking to, I wasn't talking to anybody. The machine was there, and I was closing it down, and it said, "Do you want to save this?" And I said, "No." Bang.
Why would you say no?
Because I'm an idiot.
Okay,
and it just,
well, there you go.
It just went. So I had to skip lunch, which isn't a big deal.
Boomer.
But I had to sit down. I had to sit down and do it again, and I'm convinced it wasn't as good. Before I forgot what I'd done, and it just wasn't as good.
Oh,
that reminds me of that song from Tenacious D, tribute to the greatest song in the world. Yeah, they apparently in the song what had happened was they had encountered the devil, and he told them to play the best song in the world, or he was going to take their souls to hell. And so they just picked up their guitars and played the best song in the world. And they said, this is not the best song in the world. This is just a tribute, because they couldn't remember the best song in the world. Yeah, we all have those moments. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. The digital aspect of things, when you don't save, it is frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
But the positive thing about that is I don't have to have all of my brushes and all my pens and pencils everywhere I go, like all my tools to do my inking. I've got them on every device that I use. And I will say this, okay? I have a love for both mediums, the digital and the physical medium. I do. But I have a lot of respect for these kids. I call them kids, they're adults. But they have grown up knowing nothing but digital art. And they have a way of manipulating those digital tools in such a creative way that I have never imagined. And they do some tremendously brilliant work with their computers, and I'm impressed.
I'm not denying that, and I think people miss the point of what I'm saying. I like drawing with a pencil. I've never said people shouldn't use a computer. You can do what you want. You can draw the stick in the mud if you want, but I just like using a pencil.
Oh yeah.
I've done digital artwork. I've done it. I've coloured. I've done all sorts of things on it. I prefer to do it traditional way.
You guys are gonna like this. Guess what I bought? I bought an Ames lettering guide.
Yes.
Did you really? How'd you find that? You must have bought it online.
Yeah, Amazon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. I got an Ames lettering guide. I'm gonna start practicing hand lettering.
There you go.
Why are you doing that? If you've been using the computer, why are you listening to what other?
Just for fun. I don't need it for my production. I need it for fun. Just because here's the thing: I always want to be challenging myself. I always want to be growing in my own abilities. And if I want to throw down some lettering on a sketch cover, or on a piece that a sketch that I do somewhere, I'd like to be able to throw down some nice, decent lettering. Like.
And there's skill overlap that people don't realize. If you want to get better with digital art, sometimes the best thing you can do is get, even if they're cheap paints or, one notch above dollar store, play with that because they'll give you different ideas for what you play with on digital.
Well, that's
art and writing are supposed to be fun. Now, Ed, I have a question for you. You are a writer, an accomplished writer. Do you have a preferred writing program? Because I know some people absolutely swear by different applications, different programs that they only want to write in, or they have to type it on a Royal typewriter and then scan it all in or something. What's your means of technique?
For me, I started all on just legal notepads. I just that's how I grew up, just writing that way. When I grew up in the typewriter era and I couldn't type, so I would write it down in the legal notepad, and that's how I start my drafting. And from there, it's just Microsoft Word. I don't have anything fancy with the way I do it, but it's just I always have to draft by hand. I can't draft on a computer. I've tried to sit there, even though I have all the ideas, and just sit there in front of the keyboard and try to type it straight out, and it never works. So I have to do all of my drafting, all of my notes, all on the legal notepad, and that way I'm just kind of referring back and forth when I'm actually pulling it out and typing it into the first draft form.
Ed, I'm a lot like you now. I'm a digital artist, but I prefer to write in a notepad. So my wife got me this thing called a Rocket Pad. I don't know if you've heard of this or not. But it's a notepad that you draw in. It has you can erase the pages and stuff, so you just keep reusing it. But you write in it, and then you scan it with the app, and it converts it to text in Google Drive for you, so that it's on the computer, so you can share it. Because I prefer to write on a notepad like you. Like that's how I like to write my stories. I like to jot them down, and then I don't want to type this all out because I'm lazy. And so it's either I pay someone to transcribe it for me, or
I've got a science fiction story from years ago, one of the first ones I wrote, and it's handwritten to start with, and you can see at at one point when I get my first typewriter, because the second half of it's typed.
That's fun.
So,
but
I've never bothered to type the first bit.
Dude, that's how I am. I'm like, I don't want to do it. It's like it's already there. I don't want to do it again. I only want to go back over it when I do the editing, or like when I have someone edit it for me, and then I need it in that format for lettering. But here's the deal: I actually do not on the last several books, I haven't bothered to open up a Word document for the text. I've just printed it off and I've laid it in front of me and I've hand typed all of the bubbles. Because I'm like, I can't even be bothered to copy and paste now. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to look at it over here. And I'm like, that's too much. I don't want to open up more than one program right now.
Actually, you're the one that's doing all the work on it, because for me, I have to get it into a functional script so I can get it to the artist. So
yeah,
eventually I have to go out of that legal notepad. I wish I could just make it go one way, but I have to get it off of that and move it into the script so the artist actually knows what's going on.
Yeah,
once another draft for the letterer. So it goes through that, but yeah, I would love to just say, all right, I'm typing it straight from
there
this.
There are a couple of short stories that I'm doing that's going to be like, I'm doing the whole thing. I'm probably even going to do the colors if I'm honest about it. I'll probably wind up just throwing some colors on it myself, and just to save money. But because it's also, and it's not, they're not.
Why do you say that like it's bad? I do.
Saving money?
Well, just to save money, I guess I'll use my incredible skills and talent.
Dude, I'm not a great colorist.
Just to save money, I will buy a $2,000 computer to color it when I could just buy some colored ink.
Well, see, Glenn, that's where you're wrong. I bought the $1,600 computer, refurbished, but it was also so that I can do video editing and
I can do all that on my
Mac.
Church. I can do all that. All that.
Yeah, it's a Mac. Yeah, it's just a MacBook. That's all it is. And it's going to last for a long time. And, yeah.
So the thing is that Randy and I, because we're the oldest here, when we've worked in graphics.
Well, I don't think Randy's quite as old as you.
I didn't say that.
I think I am.
I didn't say that.
I'm probably pretty close, actually.
I'm messing with you.
We've had the beautiful career and life of using cow gum through spray mount, through waxing machines, through computers, and we've done it all. We can do it all. If you put us all in a room, I don't know about Ed because I don't know Ed, but I know you three quite well. If you put us in a room, there's only be Randy and I could use everything you needed to use. You two would have no chance.
I have no.
There you go.
I'm like, I don't know what this is. It'd be like those kids that are trying to play a cassette. They have the cassette and they're sitting there like, how do you do this? And they're like trying to find where they plug the headphones into it.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Give them an 8-track tape and watch them go crazy.
Yeah. I'd be that guy. I'm like, what is this? I don't know. Do you tap these together? I don't know. I actually bought some new rulers. I got Glenn. You had showed that flexible ruler that you use. So I got one of those because I wanted to practice with one.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
And then the French curves, I bought some of those because I want to practice with those as well. And so, exactly. I bought a couple of those things.
Did you get a set of Scandinavian curves? That's what I want.
Well, no. I got
pretty good.
Anyway,
those are even better.
I got a set of Hoosier curves in the other room, if you know what I mean.
It's nice to know. It's nice to know, and Randy will back me up on this one, being old like I am, as you guys like to point out. Mm-hmm. That attention has been paid, Randy. He's bought curves and he's bought a flexi curve.
I paid
attention. Has been curved.
I listened to my elders.
Good attention.
Yeah. When Methuselah walks into the room and tells me to buy some curves, I do.
You're funny.
I really tease. Glenn, you guys, I have so much respect for like the journey that you guys, where things were, the lack of technology and what you guys were able to accomplish. And then now, to try to move into this
now with the technology, people still can't do it.
Yeah.
Right. You're right. People still have the same struggles, but publishing's so much different now than it used to be.
It's not just that, but now they sell software patches to give you that look, that imperfect look that these comics used to have.
Yeah, like we did. Well, we did that because we were in a hurry.
Great nostalgia, yeah.
It looked like that. Okay. Those were called mistakes.
Yeah. Well, Ed, we're not usually at each other's throats like this. We're just having a laugh. We're not usually like this at all.
Oh no, y'all are totally like this. This is totally normal humor content for the nerd bacon, and we wouldn't have it any other way. I will say
one thing you'll know, Ed, is that we'll never get round to talking about why you're on.
Yeah.
Forget that.
Like,
just join in the conversation.
This is
only hope.
The comment drome. 4 or 5 panelists entered one by one. They're all weeded out through exhaustion. But
last man standing gets to Sheila's book.
It's interesting because right now there's a big argument about, and we will shill your book, okay? About AI versus artists. And while this is going on, I find myself wondering about how as a writer do you feel about all these things that are the AI for writing that's coming out? ranging from like the Grammarly things to like this whole. It's getting to be where you can write a prompt out and you'll get a full story generated by AI. How do you feel about that? And do you think it's going to catch on as fast as the art one, or do you think it's a slower burn?
I don't know. I think something like that, it's a scary thought, because it's like trying to replace us with AI technology, but I can't imagine it putting out anything coherent. But then again, it seems to be getting closer and closer to that. So yeah, I mean, it's scary. You can put us out of a job, and it's not like this job's making me all the big money, but you can have, some AI pulling out all the big stories, and where does that leave us? They're going to do the stories and the art, and then we're reading books by machines. But I think there's not a way it's going to catch up to real imagination, because it's the stories that are coming out of people's heads. You can't get those from a machine. You can get perfect grammar, perfect punctuation, but the stories, I think, would still be a mess. But yeah, it's just crazy to think that it's even getting close to that it's even part of the conversation. Because, you would think it would be like monkeys typing on the typewriter when an AI is trying to do it, and yet they're pulling things out that shouldn't be even able to be done.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. And this actually brings me into something I wanted to bring up as part of the show. Because one thing I like about the independent creators that we talk about here, and the ones that I tend to lean harder into promoting, like your title, like Hatch, like the things that come out of ZimWorks, the things Luke Stone's, they're very obviously not derivative. And I talk to a lot of people, and one thing I like to ask comic fans who don't do independent, they don't do back crowdfundings, and they stick to the big ones they can find at the market. I ask them why, and I get 3 answers, and 2 of those answers. Thank you, Joe.
Welcome, Joe. Yeah, while you're talking, I'm going to start welcoming the chat. Okay.
Bit.ly.jb Tech Apps.
Yeah.
He puts out applications. He's put out the Big Stompy Robots app, and he's working on hopefully games in 2023, like actual playable games.
Right.
Checking off a creator bucket list of mine. Sorry, got to promote.
All right, while you're talking, I'm going to start welcoming the chat. So, guys, just wave at them when they show up, okay?
Okay.
When I pop them up there.
But
we want to thank the chat for being here today. You guys are the lifeblood of the show.
There are 3 things that I hear as against independent comics versus main that I don't agree with in any way, shape, or form most of the time. They'll claim the art isn't as good because it's done by independent people and they're not vetted. And especially looking at some of the stuff in the past, and some of the independent stuff can get pretty rough. But looking at what's in mainstream, guys, really?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with mainstream comics and animation in the West, but the mind has been lost. And I'm letting that one go, Luke. I see it.
We'll just let people read it, let people laugh at it.
But and that's cool. Learn the new skill, but maintain the old skill. But the art. The next thing is they say the writing is not. It's just not as good. The writing is subpar, and the irony is I hear that it's so agenda driven. That the mainstream guys say the independent guys, it's all mainstream. It's all not mainstream. It's all agenda driven. Now the third one I hear is it's derivative, and I hear that a lot. And that one has almost about a 30% from what I see, and 70%, at least of the people I associate with, are obviously. You're not finding this is not how I'd write Batman, or how I'd write. They're telling their independent stories. The art, the character design, it's all independent. But Luke, do you have that video?
Welcome. Oh yeah. Okay. So here's the video serves 2 purposes, man. Okay. All right. This is pretty funny. Yeah. You guys check.
See where I'm laying the ground.
Check this out.
Accidentally hit this, and Stephen, he's an online comedian. But
here you go. Check this out. This is you guys will remember this guy. He's the he's this guy right here. He's this guy.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, he's this guy, right? So here, check out his video.
Hello, I buy some presents for the kids. You got Spider-Man? Yes, he's one of our best sellers. That says Spider-Man. Okay, you got Justice League? Ah, totally. We have the whole collection, actually. Sense of Right Alliance. Okay, what about Transformers? Starscream, really cool. Just got this one in. It's been in high demand. Star Hauler from the Transmogrifiers. Okay, you got X-Men, we got White Woman, you got Quicksilver, we got Slow Bronze, you got Punisher, we have Constructive Criticism. What's his superpower? Listening. Of course, okay, you got Infinity Stone, we have Forever Rocks, you got Iron Fist, we got Gold Hand, you got Deadpool, we got Life Puddle.
And I'm sorry.
You got X-Men, we got White Women.
You gotta admit, sometimes you run into that a little bit, where one of my pet peeves is, this new comic is so-and-so meets so-and-so. Okay.
Yeah.
Pedro has a question. Pedro, you need to check your inbox. I forgot to send you a link this week. You have a link.
The answer to that currently is the company that created the AI owns your art.
Well, you know how AI does their work, right?
Being percolated by people who are trying to completely AI generate their comic titles. So it's very spicy.
Well, you know how they do that, right? Like the bot just scours the internet for references, and then basically just copies and pastes it, together into its own little.
It runs a little algorithm, shuffles it up, puts it together, and goes here.
Yeah, there you go.
Or people
hope you like it.
Fill the specific references they want. I mean, this is old style computing, very high end, but the process is still in a flowchart like I can
Welcome,
think.
Immortal Rising. Nice to have you here. Liked and subbed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Immortal Rising. And please, folks, if you enjoyed this content, like, share, and subscribe. And if you don't, all right,
that's
I
okay.
want you to understand that
Feel free to watch and comment anyway.
The down thumb hurts our feelings very, very badly. We are wounded by your comments. So if you feel the need to come at us and hurt us, I'll ask you not to because we're fragile. Please don't smack us around because that's not audience participation at all.
Just blame the extra guest. It'll be my fault if they don't like it.
We're certainly
like, who's that guy? He ruined the vibe.
No one thinks at Randy that way. No.
I joked. I said that. It's not really. I'm not really joking, am I? I said, one of the things that didn't grow back when I woke up was my feelings. I just that one feeling I used to have is gone, and
just certain nerve endings.
Yeah, just certain nerve endings are still there. Just a couple anyway. Like
Well,
the one on my backside in my neck, because you guys.
Certain nerve endings are dead, right around your don't give an F response. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm all out of them.
Yeah.
I ran out. Because guess what? The hospital took all of them last year.
Yeah, they did.
They took all of them.
Took all
they took
of
every
mine,
last
too.
one of them, man. I don't have any left. So, yeah.
There's a beautiful song.
Genuine Comics says, I
I've
see.
got no F's to give.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. I love that
it's
guy.
a great song.
I see IG art. Pages not sharing AI art credited to creators. Yeah, and see that's the thing.
What's the point of it?
It's
the point of why not just write it or draw it? What's the point of it?
The point that there's
good
a very
question.
good point. You see, it is much cheaper and easier if they can get AI to work. To buy, the plan is they're wonderful business people who are good at making money, but they don't have a creative scratch in their body. And they're cursed to deal with a bunch of flighty, deranged artist people who still, despite all the poundings we've given them, don't have this crazy idea that you should be paid as an artist. You should be paid as a writer. You should be able to survive at a living wage. At these things, no, we can't have that. just like anything else, if they can automate it, a very few very rich people can buy the program and market the product of the program without having to pay anybody or have any legal disputes. It's clean, it's sanitized, and then if you want everybody to agree on something, you can just book. This is the opinion we're putting in. Tink, 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 tink. This is what we want to promote as our sets of values this week. And it's all cohesive. That's why
all it does for me is underline what I'm always saying about this talent thing. It just takes people further and further away because anybody thinks they can do it, and they can't.
Well,
that's
let me
why.
tell you the real reason for
If they could do it, they wouldn't need AI to do it.
Well, and that's the thing.
It proves my point.
Okay, now, all right. Here, as a working person in this field that uses an AI for something, let me explain the two types of AI and why I use them. It's not for creativity, really. It's not to do my job for me. It is so art AI. Okay, for the first thing, I draw everything I do, right? But I will if I'm wanting other ideas. So normally if I have a prompt, my brain hones in on what I think is the best idea of that, okay? And so I'm like, okay, that's what I think. Or I might have like a second idea, but I might be having trouble coming up with like the third idea or fourth, because sometimes you need to have 3 or 4 thumbnails to give a client. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me take those prompts and pop them into Midjourney and see what Midjourney comes up with, right? Let's see what the computer comes up with, because it's not going to come up with something as good as I've got. I know it's not. But it comes up with those other options. And sometimes those there might be a little detail in there that like, hey, that's pretty cool. Maybe can work that in to our design. So AI is good for creative prompts, things to be able to kind of give you a little extra nudge. Writing AI. Okay, so here's writing AI, how I use it. I do a lot of videos. And sometimes like, okay, well, I know what my subject needs to be, and I know a couple of my bullet points, but I need a little help with my outline before I really start writing this. So I go over to the writing prompt, or I'll have someone go to the writing prompt, say, here's my things, figure this, type that in, and tell me what it says, because it will go and it will do and calculate and like, hey, this, and some of it doesn't make any sense at all, right? But I'm like, well, that's stupid. That doesn't make, but it does. And then it starts to jog my thought. It primes the well, so to speak, on some of the creativity that's already there. So that is a practical way on how AI can be used. Unfortunately, people are taking those practical applications of AI and what they were intended for, and they're using them for complete plagiarism, because it's like what Glenn says, they don't have a creative bone in their body, and they want to lie about it, and they want to pretend like they do. And here's how you can tell if someone doesn't have a creative bone in their body. If all of a sudden their work starts getting reasonably decent, there's probably a chance they're using some AI in that, like, it's like, oh, did you really write that? And it's mostly, I see a lot of writers using AI, because, as someone that uses it for prompts for video outlines, I'm like, wait a second, because there's certain phrases that they always use, or certain sentence structures that they always use, and when you start seeing that, you're like, yeah, that's AI. That's not real. That's not, you didn't write that. You didn't come up with that. The idea is to prime the well. Use it to prime the well. But yeah, these people are using it for flat out plagiarism.
Dude, straight out of the bat, I'm gonna come with like a very horrible opinion.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, the thing is that this whole AI thing, people are gonna take advantage of. Whatever, we're playing with fire. So if there's only one case for bringing back bullying, it's AI investigation. We need to get like a pack of bullies going to MIT and give everybody witness, because this is technology, they're trying to make thinking machines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dune said it. You will not make a machine in the shape of a human brain. Like this is not going to help anyone, man. People who are lazy or people who don't have talent, like, yeah, it's gonna, but dude, I don't know, like, to me, it's just, there's no merit. there's no more using the AI. So
Dave,
I'm curious.
yes, there is AI for writers. In fact, there's a rumor going around that several, dare we say, quote unquote, mainstream writers.
They're not mainstream, dude. We just call them the big dogs.
The big, yeah.
The big
A number of top two.
Corporate companies.
Yeah, we'll say top two.
Yeah.
Top two writers.
What he said. What he said.
These corporate writers are using AI to write their scripts. Yeah, and that might be why they're pushing for a uniform script format, because
It's because it fits their AI software.
Overlord. Yeah.
So they had somebody couple months ago went around and says, you need to do your scripts like this, and they had a uniform set format for you to use. It's just so their AI works.
Yeah,
and it's easier on them.
Here's the thing: it would make your life a lot easier. But here's the thing: most of it, some of it makes sense, some of it does not. Like I said, I use this, and you're only allowed so many word prompts from it. So I use it for video outlines. I haven't used it in months because I haven't made a video in months. But when I was doing the making comics, like I was trying to come up with the bullet points for that. I was like, oh, I need to, like, there's got to be a couple other things I'm missing about this particular subject. So I typed in my bullet point and I hit make bullet points, right? And it popped up 5 or 6 things, and I was like, okay, well, 3 or 4 of those are stupid, but 2 of them that's reasonable, but it doesn't. It's not identical what I need, but
I want to do devil's advocate with you, Luke.
Sure.
Because you've admitted, and I'm prefacing, I'm literally being devil's advocate. I'm not trying to be a dick. So I want to lay that out there.
That's fine.
Ahead of time.
Don't lay it out.
Please don't lay it out. We could get a strike for that.
Yeah, well,
get an AI to do it.
Get the
AI strikes me all the time.
Go on,
but in doing that and using that process, you have replaced a form of editor.
A little bit, yeah.
When you use AI for background, you're only referencing it. So if you're using it to get details, that's very similar to just doing a Google search of, say, castles. Yeah. And scrolling through manually, so I can.
I still do Bing searches all the time for reference images. So I mean, so that I can look at what I'm wanting.
Right, and I think reference is not something criminal in art. It only makes sense.
No, it's necessary in art. I think it's necessary.
People try to claim there's a huge difference between having a reference and having tracing.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what they taught me in school. They taught me in school how to look at an image and draw that image exactly. Okay?
Right.
Then I had an art teacher teach me how to look at that image and find the shapes that make it, okay, and understand the perspective lines with it and stuff like that. We actually used photography, and then we would do overhead projectors because we didn't have computers at that school. So we used overhead projectors, and we would figure out vanishing points and horizon lines based off of photographs. And so I had someone teach me that, right? And so those are the things when I'm looking at a photograph, I can change the perspective of a reference image that I see.
Right.
Because, look, as much as I would love to think that I have this Rolodex of images that I can always draw, not yet. I don't have everything in my head that I can just draw from imagination. I need references. I need, if there's a specific kind of car that I want to draw, or a particular area. I did that with the New Orleans pages that I drew for that book. I went through and I found reference images and I just redrew. I just redrew these books. And my books are here. Speaking of my books are here.
Oh, excellent.
Go get your books.
Yeah, and so reference images are I mean, it's different than tracing. Here's the thing: people say they'll use references and they will trace the references.
Right.
Now, I'm back and forth on a few of those different arguments with that, but for the most part, if you're an artist and you're not using references, I think you're killing yourself.
Right.
I think you are hurting yourself.
And there is a balance, especially in comics, because comics traditionally, I think Randy will definitely back me up here. This is a production medium.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially the best guys. You look at somebody like Jack Kirby, and yeah, I'm the guy bringing Jack into a conversation tonight. You know, this is a rarity. I've stepped in the Glenn role for a minute, but he put out so many pages so fast. So, you know, and the best ones could. They had, yes, Jack Kirby.
9 pages a
Where's
day.
some pictures? Please buy Glenn B. Fleming's book. I guarantee it's one of the best edited books you can get without AI involved.
Yeah.
But that's a
Are you
shout out
sure
to
about
my
that? Are
man,
you sure
Brian
that
K.
Brian's
Morris.
not a robot? Listen, I'm going to drop out.
Okay.
All right, see ya.
I'll try and get
Yeah,
back
see you.
later. Nice to meet you, Ed. We'll talk again some
to
other
meet you.
time. I'm sure they'll let you talk about your book.
Oh, we'll
Oh,
get
yeah,
there.
Someday.
when we get about to the halfway point, we usually
We go to the books, yeah.
switch over to plug.
I'm gone. I'll see you later.
See you, buddy. Thanks,
Take care,
thanks,
guys.
Glenn.
Yeah.
Take care, Glenn.
See ya.
Genuine Comics, Dave Brink asks, why TF do professional comic book writers use AI to do the work for them? How can you get
Because they're not doing it for the
it's
satisfaction.
not for the satisfaction?
What you're
it's for
seeing is the
paycheck.
transition of a creative job.
And they may have gotten the
to a
job
production.
based
What
on a
people don't realize
checkbox.
is every major service you go to, from fast food through the way stores are laid out, with the exception of the creative process for media, uses the Toyota factory model from the 80s. That is really the source of all of it. Every restaurant you go to that's a chain has a design process, a factory assembly line. That's just how it's run because it's the most efficient. That's how they monitor inventory and hours. You really have to deep dive the business stuff to recognize this. The problem with the creative media is right now it's very, very hard to predict. Because you look at something like Disney. Disney can put out something like She-Hulk, which will get moderate financial success and a whole lot of critical backlash. And then they can put out something like Werewolf by Night, which was almost a Hail Mary, but it got a huge, I mean, it really was well accepted. A lot of people thought it was one of the best things Marvel's put out in years, period. You know, Marvel Disney. And they can't predict it. Everything in business is about being able to predict the gambling of the stock market and gambling your profits. It's always about prediction and being to get ahead of the curve. It's impossible to do that with creative measures when you're not controlling every aspect. That's why the more you get involved with a bigger company in anything, but especially Grit, the more people you get breathing down your neck to tell you how it has to be. Pedro was talking about he had a project he wanted to do, and he had a whole committee from the government, you know, giving him notes about make it like this, make it like this, make it like this, make it like that. We don't have that from our government usually.
That's still an open wound, Nick.
Yeah. That hurts.
And
Don't
what I'm
talk about
trying to
that.
do is use your wound to.
He's trying to exploit your pain.
Well, I'm trying to share your pain so that people understand we can prevent it from happening to others.
No, that's okay, Pedro. I want to exploit it for content, so
Yeah,
I just want to be upfront with
I'm
you
really
about
trying
it.
to use that as a cautionary tale. This is why independent books are so important, because what happens is you get the more corporate something gets, the more controlled, the more profit oriented, and when the orientation is solely profit, you get something that's designed to sell toys. It's designed to sell an idea and sell a set of life goals that is going to be profitable for the people creating it.
Well, here's the thing. Non-creative people love AI because AI doesn't talk back. All it does is do what it's told.
Yeah, it
and
does
it is
what
a
it's
tool. Like
And it
Immortal
doesn't
Rising is saying.
cost.
It doesn't.
It doesn't
Well, it
have-
costs a little bit. Like
No.
you know, like I. So here's the deal. AI is. I haven't. There's an artist that I know that uses he found the gem in AI, in that if you put enough prompts in, it might find a thing in there that maybe you hadn't thought of, and it might add some new design elements to your repertoire. Because we all get into the same design thing. It's like, oh well, it's like Rob Liefeld with pouches. It's like Rob Liefeld always has pouch. He puts pouch in there. Well, if you would have popped in, it might have said like, oh, well, look at that cool little thing that it added into the costume, and then it allows you to embellish upon some of these things,
What you're using AI for is to paraphrase the concept of experience. Because it used to be, if you wanted to see architecture, right? You'd go to the museum or these beautiful buildings. You want to understand, draw the Grand Canyon. You'd go to the Grand Canyon and you look at it. You want to paint a sunset, you have to watch a sunset. And then we got to where we have photography, which is a wonderful thing, where you can look at reference pictures of the sunset.
I used to actually, as a photographer, I would go take a lot of reference photos.
Right. And anybody who follows me on any social media knows I'm all about sunsets. That's one of my great joys in life, is going out and taking pictures of the sunset. They're not always the best, but it's one of those great joys I have. But the AI curates it. What you have is an algorithm that's sorting, and it's actually a librarian. It's an image librarian. It's sorting out what it is, going by your search terms, and going, okay, this and this and this and this and this and this. And it's giving you a visual report. And that is great in the short term. And that's a great quick fix. For me, my concern is it's so easy people forget to step out and actually experience, the real sunset.
Well, here's the thing. People are going to be able to tell the difference because one's static and one's dynamic. I mean, that's just that's how you can tell. I mean, you can tell if an artist is
I'm not even
because
I'm not worried about.
There's no dynamics in their work,
Yeah, dude. Like you can even tell when an artist is using 3D models as a blueprint.
Yeah,
because you see stiffness, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, some people have a lot of fun using those tools. I don't. Like, I learned the old-fashioned way. I mean, drawing on a board with pencil and paper, and a guy hitting you in the back of the head with a stick. That's how I learned.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling other people to do what I did, but I mean, learn to use your tools so your humanity might express itself. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but
absolutely. There are elements of this that are intensely philosophical too.
Oh, here, let me use this as an example. I'll just share my screen real fast. So I did this layout that we wound up not using for a panel, but I want to use it for something because it looks cool, right?
Yeah.
So this really cool. was taken from image of an inside of a train. I actually took a model, an image. I found a photo of the perspective that I was looking for.
Right.
And so I was able to, I just mapped out my lines. That's going to be my dynamic, like and I just penciled in where I wanted things to go, right?
Right.
But I knew it was there was going to be this image of this guy flipping and jumping over the seats.
That's got to be Bone with a skateboard, right?
Well, it's going to be now. Yeah, it's going to be Bone with a skateboard now. It wasn't originally that. It was a guy with tomahawks. But so here's what I did. Here's what you'll see. These were I actually pulled up and posed 3D models so that I could see, like, okay, what parts of the body are going to be hidden on that pose, or what it's going to look like from that angle. And then what I did is I just went the next step, and then I messed with the realistic perspectives, because a hand is only going to be so big when it's foreshortened and those kind of things. And you can really see it in the foreground here, where on this last pose, where I made that thing. I made the hand bigger, the arm bigger, the head bigger,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I did the rubber band stretch.
Right.
Right?
You know, you're going beyond the limits of anatomy, and that's where
Yes.
dynamics lie. You have to
Yes.
exaggerate, and that's how you communicate. If you like copy like a CGI human male, you pose it perfectly.
You're not getting that.
You copy it verbatim. It's gonna be stiff.
Yeah, you're not getting that, but you can use those. And that's the thing. The topic of this is words and pictures. So we're talking about storytelling. Comic books has oftentimes been. I think people forget. Like there's always this argument, which is more important, the writing or the art? Dude, stop that argument. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
They're both important.
It's
all about
absurd.
storytelling. Okay, it's not a writing medium and it's not an artistic medium. It's a storytelling medium. You've got to have the two. There have been comics that have been tremendous stories, but have not had a single word on the page. But yet they were written by a writer. Someone wrote down the story and described visually what needed to happen, and the artist took it and embellished and made it even better. And it told a story, and it made you feel something. It communicated a thought or an emotion, and that is the core of what comic books is. It's a storytelling medium, and people forget that. And you need to use these digital tools. You need to use all the tools at your disposal, just like Randy and Glenn have used every tool that's been at their disposal from the beginning of their career to today. We still use these things. Artists have been using photographic references for decades. And if you don't think for 1 second that Leonardo da Vinci didn't use photographic reference or real reference, you're like, we know that he designed a machine.
Luke slightly
They didn't have photography
misspoke.
yet.
He did not use photographic reference. That was a stutter. Don't come at Luke
Yes.
over that.
What he did use,
Just cut bodies up.
I chose to
he
ignore
just
that.
cut bodies up. But no, he did invent a device. They believe he invented this device that can project an image that's in front of it onto a canvas, onto a tape, so that you can.
They're actually
so that you
selling them again.
Yes.
It's a prism, and they're selling it like it's this new technology. It's like
Right.
No,
and we know one of my favorite painters of all times.
Oh.
One of my favorite painters of all times, Norman Rockwell, is known for having used one of these kind of devices, so that he can get those perfect, that perfect alignment and the perfect folds. But it doesn't diminish his ability as a painter at all. He's still a fantastic artist. But he wouldn't. I mean, would his paintings be as tight and as pristine as they are without it? No,
and
probably not.
That's where tools, and when you take AI from AI and getting scared and go, this is a tool, it excels at precision. That's why mechanical drafting was done with, because that's part of my background was mechanical drafting.
Good morning, Frog G.
It was done with your triangles and your protractors, as much precision as possible. And then you go to CAD, which is, computer aided drafting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's not computerized drafting, it's computer aided. Because even now, even if you use something like, I love Google SketchUp. You want a fun app, a program to play with for 3D stuff. I love Google SketchUp. I can sit and use the Glenn method and do 3 views of the top, bottom, and sides, and then do a 3D render from isometric. I can do that, both artistically and mechanically. But I can use that tool to do it faster and have everything be precise. That is where the aspect of tools work. When you
I have a tool that's not working right now. It's my digital calipers. And I'll tell you, as someone that does 3D printing and stuff, I rely on those digital calipers.
Right.
And when the battery goes dead in them, because you forgot to turn them off.
And see, that's why I like to have a mechanical version, because it may not be as accurate, but it always works. That's why I'm always the bridge between the Luke world and the Glenn Randy world. But the other thing that's really neat about Luke, I've got to watch his methodology in creation, from writing all the way through to completion and publishing. And it's been, for me, one of the greatest study opportunities I've ever had. Because I could just sit and have a conversation, and while we're talking about politics or comics or whatever's going on. I'm watching the means of how he does things. And Luke is a very community creator. Luke hires a writer, he hires a letterer, he hires a layout artist, he hires a colorist. You know, Luke does what he's good at, which is basically his focus is the line art, the inking, and then the writing. That's basically Luke's favorite part of the Bailiwick. And then he gets people who are better at the different other roles to help him out there, or for time saving. But ironically, that also means he's falling in the perfect place where Luke can also operate like the business people, where now he doesn't have to hire a layout guy. If he gets the right kind of AI program that can do the layout, he won't have to hire a layout guy. If he could get the right kind of AI program to give him...
Well, hey, Nick, I think we need to...
No, I just got the 10 o'clock alarm. I was about to say it's time to shift after this. But no, I literally set an alarm to make sure we don't go over an hour on the show before we switch over and start phase 2.
I will say, Hojo says this argument reminds me of children being dependent on calculators to do simple to intermediate things. It's a great tool, it is, but if you do not know the basics, you don't know you can't do calculus.
Exactly.
I don't need to do calculus, but I do. You know what I do need to do? I do need to formulate and figure out what percentages are in my head, and I can do that. I can do that, and I'm teaching my kids that too. But for a lot of this stuff, they don't need the calculator. They just need to remember the formula. And even scientists use calculators, but they know the formula. So you still use the tool. I mean, it's like, to think that you don't need any tools at all in life, it's like saying, you know what, I think I can go kill a tiger by myself. I can go take out a bear. I can go.
Ironically, this is why I love watching the primitive technology videos. The guy who goes out and makes everything caveman style, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch these with my son. And we watch he'll build a hut out of mud and stuff, and it's like, why? Because I always want to be able to learn how to survive at the basic level. That way, anything I can scrounge makes better. And for me, my basic art level is give me a nice, cheap, either a sharpened pencil, which I don't have in reach, or a mechanical pencil, and go. But if we want to talk about something new and independent creation like we're supposed to, let's talk about Ed's project. Dave. Jeez, I just saw Dave come across on something.
It's Edward Davis.
Edward Davis.
So Ed
and I
am literally
dyslexic, so that's probably where I pulled it from.
Yeah. So Ed and I are working on a book together called Juror 13, and that backup story is available in this issue. Is it available in this issue?
Yeah, it's going to be available in issue 7.
It's available in issue 7. It's also available in issue 8 of Hybrids. Because we're both promoting this thing because it's going to be a great project. But I decided I wanted to work with Ed because of reading Immortal Era. This is, when I first read this book, I was just intrigued by the concept and by the execution. And it was very well written. And back then I was doing a lot of comic book reviews, and a lot of the books I read were just garbage. In fact, I stopped doing reviews for that reason. I wound up having more negative content than I had positive content, and I didn't want to build my channel on that. I wanted to build my channel on positive feedback, and I didn't just want to blow smoke up people's rear end about their project. Like, hey, your project's really good, when it's not. So, but one of those gems that I found was Immortal Era. Let's watch this trailer real fast.
Let's do it.
I think that you guys will enjoy this.
Is there supposed to be audio?
There is.
I can't hear a thing. Can you guys hear?
Yeah, there's no audio.
Can you guys not
No
hear?
audio.
No, it's no audio. Oh, Lord.
All right. Well, let's try that again.
Pull up.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Please, because I'm sure that is moving, but that little cut with no audio had a lot of meme potential in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's just
Moving
it's how my
potential.
mind works.
No. We'll be praying for you, buddy. Chrome tab. That's why. Sorry, guys.
These things
My
happen.
boomer moment. I'm
I'm
not even a boomer. I'm a Gen Xer. Here we go. Let's try that again.
Yeah, from the beginning.
From the beginning now.
We interrupt this steaming pile of sugar-coated lies for a healthy dose of reality. Stephen George here. As you can see, I have very little time to show you what needs to be seen. Hey, stop! I guarantee you by this time tomorrow, you won't give a fuck about what celebrities are shacking up or the closing numbers of the Dow Jones. Yesterday, I was fired from my job at Channel 4 because I refused to simply nod my head and pretend that this madness was a blessing. My former colleagues wanted to smile like good little puppets. I, however, refuse to dilute the truth. What I'm doing here today may seem harsh. Some may choose to label me as a criminal, but believe me, I'm the only hero this fucking world has. If you have a weak stomach, I would normally suggest you tune out. Today, however, you need to see this, weak stomach or not. I have been told what to expect, but no words can express the horror of what I'm witnessing in this room. None of these people should even be alive. They will try to label me as crazy. Don't believe the lies. Question everything that's going to pollute your television for the next few days. Find the truth and scream it from the rooftops!
Welcome to the Immortal Era, a post-apocalyptic world 200 years in the future. Earth has become a hopeless world, one without death. With natural resources depleted, society has become fractured, with countless citizens forced to live underground in the abandoned subway systems of a crumbling city. There, our heroes are forced to fight for their very existence, while being tasked with seeking ancient relics that will help them understand the reasons for humanity's current plight. In this quest, they will attempt to uncover the keys to restoring the natural life cycle and saving humanity by killing them. Collected for the first time, this campaign offers the complete first story arc in an expanded edition with 6 brand new pages. In addition, we'll be offering the beginning of the new story arc in issue 7. Catch up or continue your journey with our newest campaign.
Very cool.
Dude, there's a flying head.
Yeah,
South American.
the slight
There.
Jim Gordon looking flying head is my hero.
Yeah.
Like that just instantly made my week right there.
Yeah, dude.
I love
If
this
there
book.
isn't a chibi sticker kind of thing of flying head dude, you really need to consider adding that to something you do.
Dude,
I need to have someone
right?
make a chibi version of it, and then I'm all about making a
Talk
cool
to Joe
sticker of
Spicer.
that.
He does a great chibi art.
Yeah.
Joe Spicer, and he's reasonably priced. I'll
Okay.
put you in contact with him. I really like the art and colors that you have in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it Brian Magne that's your colorist?
No, it's Viviana Spinelli.
Okay. They've got a very similar style.
Okay.
Viviana does have is a little softer though in her stuff. I like your artist. I like the way they. I really like the way they
Yeah. How's she separating shapes from background with color only?
Yes.
Very subtle and very well done.
It gives such depth. I'm
Yeah.
astonished.
Yeah, like look at that rim lighting.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Like how,
god.
like the light source, like with the
Yes.
shoulders, how it becomes like as you get closer, it becomes like like milder. She knows what she's doing, man. Really cool.
Very talented.
Yeah.
Oh, this is neat. The layout to the pencils to the inks,
Ooh.
colors of the train. When I first saw that image of the train station, I was like, wow, that is a way better than most indie things that you see. And to be quite fair, it's better than most mainstream things that you're seeing these days.
Yeah, dude. Mainstream books don't have the time to do stuff like this.
Look
You
at
know,
that. That is
it's
so
not
neat.
even a lack of talent. It's just like how they are organized. An artist can't like sit for 2 days to do a very like intricate background. So, dude, like we are where we should be right now. Indies all the way, baby.
You know what? Can you take a second and scroll up? Because there's a stop right below sneak peek. There's a panel where the visual feed is cutting out on the thing. That is impressive to me, because the only way to get that is to draw your whole hallway, all the details right and perfect, and then put a twist on it.
Then put a filter.
So that means the artist had to be willing to put a huge amount of work to essentially destroy it to get that little. That's dedication.
Yeah, dude. It helps with the story, because you know something's wrong, so you know it's not. I mean, you can attempt to draw it warped right away, and I might do it as an exercise on my own time. But dude, for professional purposes, dude, use the filters. No doubt.
Yeah.
And the concept of what would happen if nobody died anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, from because we have the writer on, we should talk heavy into the writing a bit. That is a great wish granted, but it's not going to be what you think it is. Just the concept is great. And I love magic and technology overlap is absolutely my jam.
Oh, yeah.
I love that whole juxtaposition. That's really, I mean, this is great, and the how the media is going to spin stuff. This is just, I am intrigued by this universe, and that's what I want out of a preview. A lot of times I'll get preview, and a lot of times it's just like, because we review these things.
Yeah, normally we have to ask a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, tell me about this, tell me about that. But Ed, you've done such a good job. We get the story.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask, what made you decide you wanted to tell this story?
It was just a story that had always been in my head, and I got it from reading Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels, where he goes to an island where everybody's immortal, and at first thinks this is my ultimate place. I want to stay here, and then he realizes immortality sucks because he sees the people that are hundreds upon hundreds of years old, and it was just a day in English lit class, and it just got this idea exploding from my head, and it was something I always wanted to tell. I just didn't know what media I was going to tell it in. Originally, I was writing it as a novel, and then talked to a comic artist who said this would be a great book, and I just made it into a comic book. But it was something I always wanted to tell the story, because it's kind of the fun twist on immortality. Like you said, the wish granted, and then you realize, oh crap, it's, everything about this wish sucks now. So it's basically a reverse story where they want to save humanity by letting everybody die. So it's the story where you want everyone to die in the end of natural causes eventually.
Yeah,
dude. Like, I mean, this reminds me of a Spanish folktale called Juan Soldado. Like, I mean, it's a Russian folktale too, of a soldier who had a bag. He could put whatever he could in it. So he basically put death into the bag. So there's like, let me go. I was like, hey, then I won't die. So he saw his whole family die, like all his ancestors. And dude, it was a miserable existence. So yeah, dude, I get the impetus of doing a story like this. Like, what it would do to you psychologically. Dude, very cool.
Dude, check this out. A great use of perspective, even with these curved lines, like these curved roads. Very cool.
And the variety of the city. This is a storytelling page, because you can see the grandeur and the rubble
mixed together.
You can see what it was. Yeah, what it was supposed to be, and then I like how it softens out. I mean, the colorist did such a good job.
Yeah, dude. You see, there's a building that looks like a cigarette way back there.
Yeah.
Like those Babylonian temples. Like, dude, there's a lot of like subtext here. Like, very nice.
The detail on this page is like, you can like
lose yourself watching it. Just the detail. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. That's when I knew that I was gonna love this book, when I saw that page and I found myself staring at that page for probably 20 minutes.
As an old gamer, that isometric, almost isometric angle, right here just hits.
And here's the thing: the artist does this a few times in the series, so it's a theme. It's almost like a cinematographer would, have certain things. This artist does this a few times with that kind of angle and that kind of grandeur, and it works really well for me, I think. And I was so impressed with the writing that I decided I don't team up with a lot of other writers. I'm very picky because I don't work with a writer unless I think they can write better than me. Which I'm an artist and writer, and I think that I'm better than everybody else, just like every other writer and artist on the planet, right? I joke, I'm kidding. But when I saw your writing, Ed, I said I definitely want to work with this guy in the future. Yeah. And when I had the darkness of Juror 13, I was like, that story's really dark.
You know what those backgrounds and the whole like setting is reminding me of, even though it might sound like a curveball, but the amount of work that how intricate the backgrounds are. Katsuhiro Otomo's Steam Boy. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Yes.
2004.
Yes. Absolutely.
Did like 40 cents, but dude, that movie is astonishing to look at. Just nice work, man.
Soon, man. I have to find a project for you.
I'm not gonna say anything.
That definitely AI art. That's all original, man.
That's the real deal. He still does it all.
It was drawn by a guy named Al.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cameron thinks that looks good. Very monkey paw kind of thing going on there. So here's the deal. This book is cool. All right, our chat is smart. You guys understand how to look through tiers. There are so many ways for you to get involved with this thing. Digital catch up tiers, digital trades, physicals, hardcovers. I mean, anywhere from like what is it, $5 to, let's see what your last one here is, to $290.
Yeah, that's for an original cover.
Oh, that's a great price.
You'll get a physical and digital copy of the foil version of Immortal Era 7 along with the Khazar's original cover in black and white.
Wow.
You'll also receive a poster of the foil cover for $290. That's one of one. That's a one of one.
Fair, but an amazing deal.
That is a really good price for original art.
Yeah.
And then we got another one here. And you're delivering in December?
That's my goal, yeah.
Okay.
Ouch.
Ships anywhere in the world. You got 5 left of 10 of these. This is for $112, limited edition, all-in bundle. You get the deluxe hardcover, the number 7 foil, number 7 short print, number 7 physical copy, pieces of the digital deluxe, and your name in the thank yous section of issue 8. Ooh, that's very nice. Some people like to have their name on everything. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
Like people's like, what name would you like in the book? I'm like, I don't know. And, secret lover? I don't know. This is something embarrassing.
Generous lover.
Generous lover. For $65, you get the limited edition all-in bundle. That's pretty good. For $65, that's a lot. Yeah, so you guys can see there's a lot of ways to get involved here. I think that you should back it. Okay, so here's the deal. We like to bake and wrap things. Right now, I'm gonna throw the copy. Making copies. Making pastes.
Oh, dude, I miss that character.
I do too, man. That guy's great.
Yeah.
So I'm putting here in the chats right now. Go ahead and check that out. Immortals. No matter where you go, there you are. That is actually not the Immortals. That is Bonsai. Buckaroo Banzai.
The 6-string samurai.
Yeah, Buckaroo Banzai, yeah. Hey, don't be mean. Don't be mean, because remember...
We don't have to be mean.
We don't have to be mean, because no matter where you go, there you are.
There you are. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I want to ask a question because how do you just deal with this story being so inherently filled with despair? How do you keep it from being overly oppressive?
That's the tricky part. I have to. It's basically through some of the smaller dialogue moments where you just see the family interacting with each other. That you can throw kind of sneak bits of humor, because the story overall, it's grim. It's such a dark place, but there has to be some small, little laughs that I can throw at the audience without just being, over the top. So it's more in the dialogue that you would see between the siblings, which are all the children that the main character, name only his father, saved from being cannibalized in the underground. So their dialogue can bring in kind of feelings of some hope where it's not an entirely hopeless world, even though it's pretty darn close.
So here's my question for you. So there's cannibals in this story, which I know. If someone has their brain and face eaten, do they die?
They wouldn't be dead, but they're gone. I mean, they're going to be digested, and that's the end of them. So I guess it's not technical death, but they're not there in the world. And that's why the big threat when they're threatening each other in this world isn't I'll kill you, it's I'll destroy your cognitive function. Because if you take out the brain, the body's now, it's just, that's meat for somebody. They're looking down like, okay, they're not going to come at me with a knife or a gun anymore. So the threat is gone. So not technical death. And then you have, burning. That's a question that's been asked that will be addressed later on. Like, what happens if you burn somebody? Can you kill them that way? And like I said, that's
so. Are there in your world? Are there souls?
There are souls, but they're all trapped. So the soul would still remain trapped even if the brain got eaten. So essentially, when everybody became immortal, all souls became trapped on Earth.
So it's like conscious, kind of what it felt like when we were in a coma state.
Yeah.
Yeah, just this odd dream state of
decent body consciousness.
I'll tell you what, that sucked.
That is incredibly hellish. I'm loving this as a parable. I'm loving this as a metaphor. There's so many layers to this because you have just the abject. Here's horror, this gore horror, like oh my god, and then this existential crisis running parallel.
So
this is almost Lovecraftian. I mean, you're getting cosmic. This is beautiful.
We had
my lip major is showing.
We had Mike Barron on last week.
That's what brought this all about.
Yeah, we had Mike Barron on last week and gave us kind of a writing clinic, a little bit storytelling clinic. Well, Mike, I don't consider indie because he came from the mainstream. He's been around for decades, just producing amazing work. 2-time Eisner winner, right? What I consider indie are guys like us that we haven't been able to touch that market yet. We don't have a Wikipedia page about us.
Yeah.
That's who I look at as indie. In the indie market right now, the people making books, I know several writers that are out there, and there is a handful that I truly, truly respect.
Fraud.
One of those is Edward Davis.
Yeah.
One of those is Dave Brink. Obviously Piper, because I work. These are people that I usually try to work with, or I buy their stuff. Randy Zimmerman. One of the best comic books that I've read in probably a decade was Paragon. As far as visually storytelling, and it's very stylistic, but visual storytelling, and just that at the end that investment in the characters, because what it is a lot of people lack the ability to get me invested in the characters in a few pages. They lack the ability to be able to write my favorite part about superhuman comic books is the human part. That part that is relational enough that I can connect with it, but super enough to where I can look up to it, you know. And Dave is able. The first thing I noticed was his ability to write that family unit and that kind of group aspect. Very, very well done. Very well done, Ed. You're at the top of my list as far as quality indie writers. I expect that eventually people are going to get a hold of this story. Guys, this is actually one of those things that I would expect to see turned into streaming, like on a streaming service, turned into some kind of a story there. Very, very good. Very good. Guys, go over there right now, and it's on Kickstarter. There used to be some... it looks like you got how many backers you had? 93?
93.
Okay, 93 backers. We're still at 93 backers. So there used to be some, I only back Indiegogo, or I only back Kickstarter. Guess what? They both suck now, okay?
Yeah.
They're both going after people for their political views. Now we just have to use the platforms. I use both from time to time. There's Zoop out there now, so you can, you know, now it doesn't matter. Just go to the platform and back it and take a look at it. Go over there to Kickstarter. The link is in the chat. Grab that link, go over there, and find one of these tiers and get the book. Even if you just get book one.
Yeah,
I
check
promise
it out.
you book one.
I try to keep you lots of choices so you can read book one. And I'm actually going to be putting, I don't have book one for sale, but I'm going to be putting a free digital in there next week. So you can just download that book one for free, see if you're hooked. And, you know, then we have the $3 to get book 7. But I apologize. I have to go. I have work I need to be at in about 20 minutes. So.
Well, you better get going, man. All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for having me. And
it was a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Take care, Ed.
All right.
Take it easy, bud.
We'll see you.
All right. So, speaking of PDFs and things like that, our friend Pixel Trader is putting together some it's a something. Man, I can't remember what it is. Is Pixel still in the chat? There he is. Yeah, Pixel says you sold me on the book. I'll check it out once I get home. Let's get that free digital on Indicron. Indicron is offering free digital books. I don't think I've told you yet, but you have Hybrids #1 that you can use. We're definitely getting that out there. But if you're watching and you have a book or even a preview that you would like to have featured, Indicron is offering free digital books to get people kind of get their feet wet or get a little taste in their, it's just kind of a palate teaser so that you're going to want to get a piece of it.
Sampler.
Yeah, a little sampler. So go to Indicron.com and sign up for that and let them know and pop that on there. If you have a campaign running, and Pixel runs this site. Indicron, it is for all creators. It is for any kind of book. It just has to be a book that's crowdfunding, preferably a good book, But they will track your funding and they will put it all there. So if you're out there and you're looking, hey, I want to know where I can find good indie books, things that are quality, things that focus on storytelling more than they focus on PC or agenda. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of agenda in these comic books these days. People have a lot of political things they want to say, a lot of social things they want to say, and they get a little preachy. And trust me, when the preacher thinks you're preachy, you're preachy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he has an ad going in for Alterna to build some awareness for folks. So Alterna will be placing an ad in their books for Indicron, so you can head on over there and get that. He's also working on a book called Ariel, or AR13L.
Yes.
Merc made. It was created from.
I've been watching the ads for that, and thank you for the cure for redhead erasure. I mean, it's just
lots of guns, lots of boobs, lots of violence.
Yeah, it's pure guilty pleasure, and you need that in your life once in a while,
Yeah. Let's welcome Phantasm.
Just call her Phantom.
Phantasmagorical.
Phantasmagorical. We've also got 24 Eyes here. Welcome.
I have to
24 Eyes. Good
apologize,
day.
but between that name and Pedro, now all I hear is "Wanna Fanta." Don't you wanna Fanta? And now that's gonna cycle through my head for a while. Oh. Anyway, sorry.
Sci-Fi for Me TV. Welcome to the chat. I do expect more people to follow Everett July's
Like
model.
Lucas?
I am doing it myself. I've created my own crowdfunding platform, which other people can use if they see fit. I'm getting ready to do a crowdfunding for a print run of a book that I'm putting together called Other Realms. It is a collection of short stories and previews of the books and stories that I'm introducing here in the next year or so. And so, you'll be able to get that. I'll be launching that around the same time I launch Hybrids on Indiegogo. I'm still using Indiegogo for a lot of the big campaigns because they are, I like their, I have to use their algorithms. But yeah, so right now we've got Rift Riders funding. We're around $250 away from hitting 10K. Guys, can you believe that? $10,000. $10,000. We were able to get on EVS's stream, and he got us in front of a lot of people, and the community gathered around, saw the project that we're working on. Piper's done a great job writing. Dillard has done a great job on the art, and Edgar on the colors. It's looking really, really good, and they read the first 5 pages. People came out gangbusters. We made $5,000 in a couple of hours. Now we need to go that little extra mile, $250 left to go for Rift Riders to get us to that little bump. It is that's a milestone for me. I've kind of been flirting with that idea for a while.
Well,
and
Luke,
we're actually flirting with the number now.
I think when you do the trade paperback that's coming out down the line that I know about, I believe that there's a special spice. Now, something happened, and Luke got a message very late at night with no warning, no explanation, that was just sent to Luke. And I believe that is going to be the spice that's going to start unlocking probably the most important character in your IP, in my humble opinion. The absolute most important character in Hybrids for all of it.
Yes, yeah. When we do the trade for the final.
It's the final. It's the final, that's right.
For the final arc. So this is book 9 that's getting ready to crowdfund right now. There will be a trade collected for that will be released probably on my website through my crowdfunding. And then there will be 3 more books come out next year for Hybrids. The last one I'm writing this week. I'm actually finishing it. The other 2 have already been written and they've been laid out by our layout artist. And so I will start the art on those probably in a few days, probably next week. I will start the art on those. And so those books will be drawn and ready probably before the end of the year. But when those release, at the very end of that, we'll do a trade. And there is a backup story that is going to blow your guys' minds. I cannot wait. Nick, out of nowhere, sends me this prose version of a message in Messenger. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. Nick's his writing chops have gotten pretty decent. And then we get to the twist at the end. And I was like, yes! I said, Nick, put this in the document.
I owed Luke for, I want to say it's issue 5. I think it's issue 5 of Hybrids.
Yeah.
Where I'm just reading. Nick, read this. Da 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 da. Wait, Luke. What? Luke, I messaged him. I don't know if I called you. I might have even audio called you. I was like, have you lost your mind?
I tend to do that. Wait till you read. Wait till you guys read issue 9. I'm actually kind of broadcasting a little bit on some of the spoilers, but I'm going to tell you what. It is a bloody issue.
Oh God!
There is a lot of destruction in book 9.
Oh! I've seen that.
You've seen it. Pedro's trying to help me keep some of the some of the spoilers
Yeah,
hidden.
dude.
It's very difficult. Very difficult.
Dude, this has been, I have to say right away, this is the first animatic I've made without making a storyboard, just because the pages you said were so clear in the storytelling. It was just like, I did it in a day. It's like, hey, what do you think about this? It was like, change this, change that, we're done. It's like,
I literally just sent you scenes from all 4 books, and said, "Here you go. Here are the these are the main scenes in the story. So here you go."
Yeah.
And so he was able to storyboard it and say, he did all that, and the animation has turned out great.
oh yeah, dude, I'm having a lot of fun here.
Yeah, we're having a good time. We're having a real good time creating good stuff.
I do want to hop 2 things since they were directed in the comments. First and foremost, I'm jumping to Edward Davis. He said, sorry for the abrupt exit. Thanks so much for having me. You're a wonderful guest, and I think now that you understand that you got to throw a few elbows in here, you can't. We are not subtle people. There's a lot of personality. You'll have a much better time next time, and I hope you come back. You know what? You were fantastic, and I think I was too. I don't think I know Phantasmagorical yet, but they're fast becoming one of my favorite people.
Dude,
Just
that's
how
awesome,
they
man.
respond and who they associate with.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you must be pretty darn cool. So I'm all for that. That's one great thing about this. I meet the neatest people on this show.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there are people who are like must-have in your life, and Fanta is one, dude. She's like sweet girl, very talented artist, and dude, just very cool all around. So, hail Fanta.
All these awesome creators make us better creators.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as good as artificial intelligence may be, actual intelligence, actual creativity, when you crack open that book or you open up the digital on somebody that they put out and you're just like, wow, my mind is now blown. I am not the person I was before I opened this book. That's kind of one of the highs. I thought we did it because your name sounded familiar, Fanta. And I'm terrible with names and people switch icons.
You guys carry on for just one moment. I'll be right.
Okay. As Wayward Sons, we will carry on. But no, this show especially, guys, is such a privilege. We have somebody like Randy Zimmerman who's been very quiet today.
Very quiet. Letting everybody else talk.
It's kind of you. I genuinely respect it because I do. It's so neat to meet people like Pedro, who is just an accomplished animator and has one of the best. I mean, Disney's idiotic for not flying a helicopter down and blackbagging you and driving you up to Florida. And just, pull off your bag and your room full of money and you start forgetting being offended. That's how Disney rolls. But
he's a free thinker. That's why that doesn't work.
Yeah,
he'd be an Imagineer.
I have a lot of trouble just working on a corporate environment,
right?
Because I'm kind of a rebel, and I will always say the wrong thing, and I'll be the only one laughing. And dude,
this is why we get along. We have. You guys have no idea how amazing the after we turn off, so we're not quite so
visible,
careful in language.
Yeah.
It gets fun. It gets colorful, but it gets fun as soon as the show hits, broadcast over. But and then you have Zim, who's just this powerhouse of the history of comics and independent comics. And I don't know if you've done this already. And I sound like Brian almost. That's Brian K. Morris. But you need to write, Zim, a history of independent comics. I hate to pull you to the realm of prose too hard, but the knowledge you have.
Prose ain't gonna work. I'm 40 pages in. I was 40 pages in before the Liberty deal started. I had gotten 40 pages in on a revision of a book that I had done called Spank the Monkey on the Comic Market.
Yeah.
And I'm 40 pages in, and I'm up to Molten and the creation of Wonder Woman. I can't wait to get back to it. I've got a few other things on my bucket list that have to get done first, and then I'm back on it and running through it. I haven't even gotten to World War II yet. Just started. getting there. But looking forward to getting that book out to people. I've been told, I had a couple people that have looked at it that have said I need to stop. I need to finish up after the 40, maybe end it at 48 and sell that as
volume
as one volume.
That is
and then work on the other
wonderful-
volumes as I go along. But I'm really happy with the way it looks because I'm using a combination of not just explaining things, or it's not quite prose. There are certain panels that get long-winded, but I'm also finding portraits of the creators and putting them, drawing pictures of them in there, as well as explaining things and having the cast that's traveling. It's just not just the monkey. It's the monkey's cousin Shock, and then we have a little chicken named Choke, and a girl named a little dolphin named Flog, another bunny coming in called Bop, and anyway, it'll be great. But it's not just that; these characters dress up as these heroes.
I love that.
And I do first cover recreations with the character in that pose, in that costume. It's fun. It's been a great time doing it. And like I said, I can't wait to get back to it. It's just that I'm working on a COVID book right now. There's a couple of collections that I have to do. 2023 is going to be really crazy. Hopefully for me, right now I've been dealing with a lot of commercial artwork because while I was down, I had a couple of clients that told me that they'd wait for me, and they did. So you wake up and boom, all of a sudden I've got a lot of commercial work to do. And anytime I have a lot of commercial work, it inspires the creative work.
Right.
And you're always thinking about that list that you got to get back to as soon as I can get these signs cut, as soon as I can get these shirts printed, that kind of thing. That's what I'm in the middle of right now. And then there's stuff that needs to be collected. There's people that have come to me that want to do art books of their works that are like, yes, of course, we have to do that. There's
One of
just
them we're doing is Chris Scalf. Can I talk about this?
No.
Okay.
But that's okay.
All right. Well, let me talk about Chris Scalf for a second.
Chris just
I
got
can talk about this.
I can say this. Chris just got a publicity bump. Anytime you watch the Werewolf by Night show on Disney Plus, he helped animate Man-Thing in that.
He helped animate Man-Thing.
Got an end credit. If you look at the end credits, he's listed there. Yeah.
And he is the artist for the special mailing list edition book of Hybrids number 9.
There you go.
So that book is only, his cover is only going to be available through the link for the mailing list. So if you want to get that cover, you have to sign up for the mailing list to get that.
And Chris has done a lot of great things. He's worked for Dark Horse back when they were doing Star Wars. He's done Godzilla work. He's done an incredible body of work that very few people have associated or connected the dots on.
He's very shy and he doesn't really promote himself much, where he should. He should definitely do that. So
that's something you need to overcome, man. Like
he'd be a major powerhouse. I'm hoping.
If he can promote himself like I promote myself.
I want to talk him into doing an interview so that folks will get to see what he's done and connect a few of those dots. Because he was making a living for the longest time as a storyboard artist. And he has storyboarded some commercials that everybody has seen. And a lot of times when he storyboards them, he just hands them, the advertising agency takes the boards, gives them to the director. And you end up seeing exactly what he storyboarded on screen.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Like I've done that my whole life, but it smells more like tamales because it's like Latin American commercials. And it's a nice living. It's a nice living, but in the end, it's an obscure living. Like nobody knows. What you've made. It's just like, that's a tomato can.
Everybody, welcome. We've got a new panelist today called it's Pixel. Pixel Trader is in the house.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, cool. So Luke, I saw before we get into Pixel Trader, because I know as soon as you do, it's gonna get awesome. Frog G said it's the Killing Field Complete Saga. When you are done, are you doing an Uber omnibus of everything in
all 3 books?
Hardbound?
Yeah, all 3 books will be in hardbound.
That sounds very German.
I'm German.
It does sound very German.
I'm sorry. I was having a Reuben, a sauerkraut and beef
there you go.
last night.
That'll be a book that you can drive around and pick up people with.
Uber omnibus.
Uber omnibus.
Yes.
Uber. That's the
Speaking
nice
of books, look at this. Look what just came in. These are the trades.
Oh,
this
look
is
at
the
those.
Oh, cool.
Blow that up. Blow that up.
Yeah, let's blow that.
Yeah.
Boom.
These are the. Look at that. That is the Arrow Comics edition.
I wasn't looking at that as much as that great cover. Look
Look
at
at
cover.
that.
That's iconic.
Kanan White is also doing the cover for
That's just great.
the second, the volume 2, and he'll do the cover for volume 3 as well. So we're gonna keep him on board doing those. I like his art very much, and we're gonna keep the same colorist. Eric Hodson did the colors, so we're gonna try to keep the same team on all 3 covers. But yep, a new volume just came in. This is the remastered with the extra story content, remastered art, and adjusted story, and it has some backup stuff in there. Everything that's in this book now is canon. Okay, before on the last one we had backup stories from people that were they were basically fanfic kind of things, and they're great, very great stories, very good. And it was one of those things I put myself with approval on all of them. I didn't have enough room to add all of that in this one, so I wanted everything that went in this to be complete canon. And so in the back is the 2-page story that Meredith Logren did for me. It was her first comic book publishing credit, and pardon me.
Yeah. Meredith will always have a gold space in our memories.
Shrink it back down, buddy. There you go.
But so while Luke's muted, I think he's putting that book away and dealing with some memories. Pixel Trader. Sorry, Pixel Trader. I can speak. I'm a professional. Don't take me serious. I dress like this is warning. But tell us what you do and what this IndieCron project is, because I'm fascinated by people who promote something, that method of here's the free firsts, taste it, tell me if you like it kind of thing.
Yeah, so it kind of came from earlier this year. I had the opportunity from a few different creators to throw an ad in the back of a book. And so what I did is I put together something that says, hey, I'm IndieCron. Check out these books that are crowdfunding. And so I listed 2 different books that were either going to be coming soon or were already in the process of funding. And a lot of people like that. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I think this is nice. And I've been looking at ways to try to kind of raise awareness and build up the site traffic again. And I'm like, the King Cryptid campaign came around. Yeah. And Peter had a good deal on an ad. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And so I snagged the ad. Didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I knew I wanted to have an ad in there. And so the deadline was October 1st as a soft deadline. The 15th was a little bit more of a harder deadline. But anyway, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this because I really want to do something to help everybody out. And I just finally go, oh, wait, I could just do a landing page or something, some kind of promotional thing where I draw somebody to the website, but I can also give all these people an opportunity to put something out in front of somebody, because the one thing I've noticed is everybody has a really hard time getting eyes on them. Like it's just, you get lost in the shuffle. And so if I've got a perpetual ad running in the back of the book somewhere, he always reprints stuff. People always get that stuff in hand. I can even update the site anytime I want. If somebody comes along and says, hey, I'd like to be included in that, I can add it later. It doesn't matter. It could be a year down the road. I can still add it to that and people can see it. And so I decided I was going to put together a page, and then everybody can click on scan the QR code inside the book, and then that'll take them straight to the page on IndieCron that's going to have a listing of not only the PDF, but information about the creator or the company. Everybody has their own little, like Arrow Comics, for instance. Everybody has their own brand that they're trying to promote. So it'll have that. It'll have links to where they can buy the books. It'll have links to your social media, all that kind of stuff. So you're able to really get a nice feel for who's trying to pitch you their story. That's kind of what I was thinking with this. And I'm going to keep working on it. And I may run a few more ads later. I want to see how this first one goes and see what the response is to it. But I've had a number of people already reach out and want to have something in the book. And so I'm liking it.
This is something you should be proud of, because I I run with a guy named Brian K. Morris, and it got me into streaming on this next level that I'm at, where I am now, where the rising tide mentality of a rising tide lifts all boats. And so I will always, it has like Saya approved Frog G, our hero Frog G. But somebody coming out and thinking, okay, you have a shot to promote one thing. How can I do the most good for the most people with this one shot? It's nothing short of heroic, and I respect it instantly, without any hesitation. Yeah. So that's exactly what you're doing. Is exactly the kind of thing, for my input on the show, I want to highlight, because that's wonderful, because you're building people up, and that's
been the mission. That's been the mission since I started the site in 2018. When it was first being run as a spreadsheet by Edwin Boyette, it wasn't being updated very regularly, but the idea was there. But my job in my personal life is as an automation engineer. So I write all kinds of code all day long. And I looked at that and I go, there's got to be a better way to keep those numbers updated. And so I took a shot at it. I asked it and said, hey, do you mind if I take a crack at this? And he's like, yeah, you have my blessing. And within about a week, I had a site stood up. And, it's evolved quite a bit over the last 4 years, but it's still out there. It's still, I don't even know what the numbers are now for referrals, because early in the days, I didn't track. I didn't have my little ID attached to Indiegogo. Like 2 years back, I introduced tracking for Kickstarter as well. And Kickstarter doesn't have that referral tracking very, very well defined. And so I have no idea exactly. I know it's 6 digits that I've contributed to campaigns over the last 4 years, but yeah.
That alone, though, I mean, we when we're helping people, there's a temptation to be really worried about the specific numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you get to the point where you crack 5 digits, that's huge. Most people only know 50 people. They only talk to 50 people in their entire, lives. That's who they really know and hang out with as adults. When you're setting up referrals in the thousands and in the 6 digits.
Well, I should say 6 digits as far as financially. Referral numbers, I'm not quite sure. You could probably divide that. That's
just my point being, that is a huge thing, and because we have these outliers of where you see the people who have millions of views or millions of clicks, and we get lost as creators in the I'm not there. And we're looking at the wrong end of the spectrum. And I find this a lot because, that's where the imposter syndrome kicks into people. You got to look at how many people never, there are people who will come on like my show, and they'll come on, they'll promote the exact same thing in the chat. Here's my whatever. Bam. They won't say anything else. They'll drop the chat, hit it and quit it, and they're not doing anything for anybody else. You're sitting here and you're helping literally thousands of people get financial benefit for chasing their dreams.
Yeah.
That is incredible, and it should not be understated. It shouldn't be, that should be celebrated, that somebody's out there putting out that kind of effort to build people up. And I respect that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've never charged for the service or anything either. I don't think that's right. I mean, the whole thing about everything. I ask for donations sometimes, or if people want to, but I've never said, "Hey, give me money." It's just not my thing. And my day job treats me well, so I don't have to worry about that. And so my whole thing was, this was a hobby. I knew I couldn't back every single book because that would just get way too expensive, but I knew I had time, and I knew I had the ability to be able to help a lot more people through building a site. And so that's what I did.
That is incredible, and I'll be honest, that makes me really want to find my book of passwords and stuff and upgrade my own site, because I keep saying I'm going to do it to myself, and as a more of a promotion tool. So thank you for that. Yeah. I love when somebody comes up and it gives me a call to action. They're doing the right thing. I want to do the right thing. Now, that's not chasing the profit. Profit's one thing, but but the right thing. And that's what's so great about the people who come on this show. People are doing this where, they're either, I'm doing this free stuff because I can't afford to do something for you, or I'm doing a service, but I'm going to charge you what I know you can afford for the service, not, bloated stuff. So that's just very cool. It's very cool. And how again can people get on that? Just to repeat for some of the latecomers.
Sure. So there's a couple things. First and foremost, if you have a campaign that is going to be launching soon, I mean, really anytime, as long as you have a preview page or something available, you can go to indiecron.com/submit, and you can submit a creator profile, which will get you an actual profile on the site with your picture, what you do, inker, writer, penciler, etc., and a bio. And then you can also submit your campaign. So what I've done is a pre-campaign setup where you give me the URL for your pre-launch and all that. It'll actually kick over and start tracking your campaign within 30 minutes of the time that it launches, and we'll keep the numbers updated on about a 10-minute basis. It hits the sites and checks everything. That's all available there. If you already have a campaign that's running, or it's even in demand, you can also submit it if it isn't already up there, and that's in the active campaign section. It's just another form. It's all through Google Forms. And so it's manual data entry on my part because I built the site as a prototype. It really wasn't meant to be prime time. And so I do all this manual entry and everything whenever it comes in. I'm trying to upgrade it. I just haven't had the time. So, but people submitting this through the form gives all that information to me in one spot where I can quickly copy and paste, make some adjustments, and immediately get it up there tracking and showing people what you got. As far as the ad goes, you can go to twitter.com/indiecron, and there is a post. I'll probably pin it. I don't know if it's pinned right now, but I will pin it. And that's where I'm promoting this ad thing. I'm going to put a link on IndieCron soon. Again, this was something that just kind of came like mid-thought during a conversation about how we can help people out in a group that I'm in. And I'm like, you know what? I've got an idea. Let me check on something. And I just ran with it. And that's kind of the way I am. Like an idea will hit me, and I'm like, okay, how do I make this work? Where can I make this work?
What group was that, Pixel?
That's the Genesis crew.
Oh, did you say Genesis crew?
I did say Genesis.
Genesis crew. Brought to you by Genesis crew. There you go.
Okay, like to start something.
Go start something.
Matt Knowles is asking, how much is the cost? And free. I believe you said it was free.
IndieCron is 100% free.
100%.
Now that you do this, I have to do that thing where I try to get people a little extra. So if people want to donate to you, understanding you're not charging them, this is totally voluntary, how do they do that?
There are links. Actually, at the top of the website, there is a, gosh, I don't even know what it says now. It's been a while. Like donate, I think is what it says, or support. And it links out to a couple different ways you can support the site. There's also merch. I don't really make anything on the merch just because, the price of stuff has gone up too. But I never change the prices of everything. So it's mostly if you just want to wear it out, like you're going to a convention, you want to wear a logo shirt or something, you can wear that and spread awareness for me. Yeah, it's all about the branding. But yeah, through that support link, I think there's a PayPal link. Unless I removed it, I can't remember now because they kind of ticked me off about 6 months ago. But yeah, anybody that wants to support the site or wants to get in touch with me, there's plenty of ways we can work something out to where they can donate or whatever.
I've used the site a lot, actually. I notice there's definitely a bump in referrals on all of my campaigns because of the IndieCron placement there. In fact, it was when at one point I was very much interested in how do I get on that, because it put my campaign next to other campaigns that were doing huge amounts of dollars and money, and I was like, well, if these people are buying that book, they might also like my book. And the site was very vital in my growth as a creator for marketing specifically. Because, that's the thing. making comics is difficult, and once you get fairly decent at that, you're still always learning. But it's the whole marketing and shipping and getting all your book out there and finding an audience. That's the complicated part.
Yeah.
We can't depend on just getting our books and previews and going through Diamond anymore. That doesn't mean that you're going to make money. I mean, we hear people talk about that all the time. Well, our book only sold 7,000 copies. It's like, well, that's a lot for some people, but it's not a lot if that's your only means, especially with, the discounts that you have to go through Diamond. If you sold 7,000 copies as an independent creator, you're making so much money.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so much money. Like, you've probably made enough money for the year. Like, if you could do 2 or 3 of those a year, then you're making money. You're set. That's all you need to do. Most likely, that's all you need to do.
Especially if you're doing in Latin America, you can buy a town with all its people in it with that kind of money.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
That's my plan.
So right now, I'm selling. If one floppy, we sell it for about $10 or so through the crowdfunding. We're making, probably about 50% profit on that. But after we've paid for everything, once you've actually paid for the cost of the book and stuff, if you sold 7,000 copies, at 10, that's, do the math, man. At $10 a book, you're making some money at the end of the day, and it's yours. You get to own that. That's on you. And so you see why a lot of these people that are published and going through these bigger venues are moving to crowdfunding, and they're moving to creator-owned and self-published or smaller publishers that do things like this, because you get to keep more of your earnings. And it makes sense. It makes sense. The market has changed, but for those of us trying to find those people, if you don't already sell 7,000 copies, it's like if I can sell to 500 people or 600 people, that's going to be great. I'm always looking at like 1 to 200. If I can get a solid. I think, what do we got on Indiegogo right now for Rift Riders? I think it's like 160 some backers. If we can get to 200 backers by the end of this, I'll be super happy.
Yeah, dude. But also the other thing that people are not taking into account, that dude, this is a gold rush, and people who find gold, they're making money, but people who sell shovels are making money too.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's the thing. Like right now, dude, I only make like 87 backers on my very first campaign, and I'm very proud of it. But dude, I'm making most of my money helping other people make their campaigns look better through trailers, through I'm a friend coloring now, even though I don't think I'm the best, but some people like what I do, and that's the thing. Like within this community, like we will feed each other, and that's something you won't find on the mainstream. The mainstream
you're making a little bit of money off of me.
Yes, I am.
You want to show off a little bit of what you're doing?
Oh, dude, it's as I said, it's your jam. Like you decide.
Yeah, let's show off a little bit of what you're doing.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do a spoilers free, if we can. Yeah, yeah, we're still working on that. There's one very pivotal scene that needs to be referenced in the trailer, but
actually, wait, let me get those ready because I have the MP4s.
Hold on, yeah, we've got what is this here? This is the ad.
Absolutely.
So this is what went into a book previously, and I'm going to be doing something very similar. The top part will pretty much be the same, except it might have a little bit of different information in what she's saying, and then the bottom area is going to have more details about what they're going to go to. So I'm going to probably throw something for Genesis Crew down in here as well, but it's going to talk about the PDF page and what people can get, and then
Genesis orientation.
The QR will actually load the page on IndieCron. And then that's where you'll be able to get the links. So I'm not going to call out specific PDFs. I might show a couple covers here, but I'm probably not. I mean, I was thinking about it, but if anybody ever pulls their stuff, then they'll be looking for it and they won't find it.
Who did the art at the top? Who did the girl?
It's a combination of people. It was Matt Cosson for the lines on her, and then Raven. I can't remember her last name. Monroe, I think. She did the colors.
Welcome, Jeff Potts.
No, I love the mascot. I know this is an amazing project, but I'm an old anime nut. I just walked into this. I want to know her story. Yeah.
So the guns are slabbed comic launchers.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The whole lore around her is like everything. There's actually a shirt on the merch store which explains what everything is, but like it's all kind of a joke, like a heads-up display that to get the latest numbers, kind of thing. Slabbed launchers, and then like her boots have like I think I said something like boost or enhanced boost capabilities, kind of alluding to the fact that the site helps people out. Yeah.
Nice.
I love it. I that is just beautiful.
Very cool.
That is
Very,
just
very cool.
beautiful. That's so much. This has been the episode of things that are surprised. It's Nick's jam. I'm loving this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so
it's him. Okay.
I'm using Luke's art, which is easier for me. I just have to separate the layers.
Right.
And just use animation principles on them. So I'm not drawing them. So this is going really fast, actually.
I'm getting such full throttle vibes off of this.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on, I'll play the theme music.
What's that? Adrenaline? Adrenaline? We're just gonna get start off with raw adrenaline, just right through. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's raw adrenaline. Hold on, I'll throw the. Let's play the theme music
Okay, I'm
for
gonna.
you.
And it's out.
And he's gonna do this. This is how it's gonna work. He's just gonna flip. You're gonna see him like changing files in the middle of the trailer. Yes.
Yeah. That works.
That's cool. Like the spinning boulder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's hot.
And this looks a lot like you use the same kind of process that they do to make the VTubers.
Mm-hmm. I think I made another scene. Yeah, but it's not rendered yet. So yeah, that's what we got so far. And dude, it's an awesome process. I'm thinking it's gonna be done by next week.
Very exciting. Yeah, we're working on the script now. Piper's helped me with the video script. We've got Death Metal Luke is going to be doing the voiceover for us.
I'm gonna make it my duty to make Death Metal Hero the voice of CG when it comes down to trailers. He's very versatile voice.
Yeah, he's very versatile voice.
Luke Agliata's one, and he's just one of the coolest dudes out there.
Yeah,
It's like
really is.
hard stop. For somebody who's so talented, there's no ego there whatsoever. You
Not
know
even
what I
a
mean?
little bit. Not even
Just
a little
an amazing guy.
bit. Yeah. The dude could be a total douche if he wanted to be.
Yeah.
He's not. I mean, he's so down to earth. Definitely one of my favorite people in comic books.
Yeah, dude,
And,
that's a cool concept. Like, can you afford to be a douchebag?
I don't. Maybe
I can't.
Maybe
Yeah,
some people can. I
exactly.
think.
Yeah, some people
I
have
think-
like the credits to be douchey.
I think Eric July thinks he can.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that lately.
Mhm.
I know EVS can. He can
Yeah.
afford to be one. In fact, that's mostly his brand. So
Yeah.
Well, and that's the workaround. You make sure your brand, if douchebaggery is your desire,
Yeah,
you
still
set
has-
your brand to be douchebag.
He still has
one
some
moment
benevolence to
fun.
him, though, so which is nice.
Yeah, dude. But
So
the
he's-
thing is, like, I don't know, to earn EVS, you have to poke him a little bit. If
Right,
he's
yeah.
gonna be like the nicest guy, but if you give him shit, he's gonna give it back. Like that to me's not douchey. It's just like, dude, don't mess with the guy. You know,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. No. He's. I think he's fun. He's actually. He's fine.
Yeah, I
he and
get
I
it,
would choose
Bob.
different methods on certain things socially, but that it's just our generational gaps and our and just our geographical thing. And when it comes down to, I lived in Fishbowl for so long as a minister. I have a tendency to still think that way. And
Dude,
so-
you know what? I speaking of that, I had a cultural clash yesterday because I'm doing something in Pontificators, our RT-Bears show. Well, I'm part of it, but I don't like saying I'm part of the. Well, I'm part of the Pontificators, whatever. So we're doing this like the Latin American tour, and I'm just looking like very horrific videos of Latin America and showing them like it's like a tourist board.
Yeah.
But yesterday's video didn't land at all. I mean, here in Latin America, we find it funny. It's like 3 crackheads who invaded their mama's house, and they didn't want to get out, so the police was taking them out. Like, everybody in Latin America laughs about that. Like, dude, get out of your mom's house. But yesterday, everybody was horrified. It's like, oh my God, look at the conditions of that house. Like, okay, I see. So that's the thing. Like, I wasn't trying to be douchey, but dude, like, I lost credits yesterday. It's like, that's funny, Pedro. Yeah,
it's funny here. Yeah,
perspectives are relative.
Yeah, I know.
There are a lot of people, I think, who spend a vast amount of energy getting offended on other people's behalf.
Yeah.
When they don't even have any, skin in the game.
Yeah.
Either.
I mean, nobody got offended yesterday. Don't get me wrong. They just didn't laugh. I was laughing by myself, and then I noticed, like, oh, I'm that.
Yeah, I'm that guy. But so here's the deal. I know that I'm douchey at times. I know I am.
Oh yeah.
Like I am 1,000% aware that I am. In fact, I think I was at Sam's Club and I said something, and I looked at my kids. I said, and my daughter was horrified by something I said. My wife and son and daughter are all looking at me, like with this look about what just came out of my mouth. And I go, what can I say? I'm a dick. I'm like, I know it. I'm like, it happens. It, at some point, and I told him, I laughed. We went to go visit the ICU. Yesterday was my 1-year anniversary of leaving the ICU. I posted a video on my YouTube. You guys should check it out. It's photos and video montage, really, a slideshow with dates, so you can see like the progression over dates and what it was like for us. So you actually get a sense of what the last year's journey has been for me in about 6 minutes, so pretty quick. And then so we did that yesterday, and as I was going in, I realized, I kind of joked. I said, you either die the hero or you live long enough to be the villain.
Good.
As they often say. And I think, that's kind of my thing. I think maybe the hero died in the ICU last year, and the villain emerged.
I don't think that, Luke.
I know, but I do, because I'm like, I've got this whole new,
you are a lot more blunt and a lot. Yeah. Almost ruder isn't quite the right way to spin it, but
it's just like you get perspective and you suffer no fools.
Yes.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Randy feels the same way. He's even the same boat. And it's just like, but I feel very deeply about things. Like the whole, Meredith's story.
Yeah.
Being official canon for this universe. And thinking, that we lost a year of her genius because of a grift.
Yeah.
And that she and I lost a few months of friendship because of the lies of an idiot narcissist with little man ego syndrome that is talentless and a hack. That the only thing he's ever contributed to comics is drama. Rob Anderson, what a piece of garbage. Being.
I thought you were talking about somebody else.
Oh, you thought I was talking about Travis? No.
Varian.
Oh, that guy too.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, wow. He who shall not be named got named. Anyway.
I just start naming names.
I'm sorry. We're getting cease and desists.
I don't work with Travis anymore.
Again.
I'm telling you. Here's the truth. Travis is nowhere on the same level at all as Rob Anderson. Travis has a sliver of talent and a lot of drive, and I tip my hat to him because he has. There are things that I've learned from Travis. I have become better because of him, and I've learned a lot of things because of him. So I'll give credit where credit is due, but it wasn't my favorite working environment with that guy. So I'm no longer on those projects.
I feel I've learned a lot from Rob and Varian.
Oh, I've learned nothing. I've learned what to avoid.
Pretty negative, but it's
I've learned what to avoid, but I've not learned anything positive, and I don't see them producing anything of value in the comics community at all. Those two people can take a long walk off of a short pier.
Nice.
They can go kiss their mother. I'm telling you, they can go suck an egg. They can go kick rocks. What's some other things I can say that won't get me? That won't get me an
it's
adult
not
strike?
worth saying. It's not worth saying.
Yeah, there's other stuff that I can say, but I'll tell you what, those two people wasted the talent of Meredith Wallgren, and that's why I named them. That's why I named them. They are absolute garbage people. Garbage people. Man, the things that she could have done.
And now let's move to a slightly brighter topic because.
Well, I like this one though.
Well,
That's how you really feel. I always tell people how I really feel now.
It's not that I disagree in any way, shape, or form.
See you, bub.
But it's we don't need.
Frog.
I don't believe in
always.
throwing time and energy at people who don't deserve it. And anytime we spend too much time dwelling on people like that more than this is a public service announcement, they suck. Moving on.
Yep.
That anything more than that is time. We could be talking more about hybrids. We could be talking more about out of obscurity. We could be talking more about this amazing. I hear about things that are well known in the indieverse for the first time constantly here, and it's one of the best things about the show. It's like I didn't know that exists. He has essentially the Bane-free library of indie comics, and that's a thing. And you can just go and read these amazing comics. This is This is like Christmas for me. You know, I mean, I'm going to say, I'll go, wow, okay, I've walked into an amazing gift.
So check this out.
I get to see what Pedro is animating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Pixel Trader.
That's amazing.
Made a meme. Meme
Mm-hmm.
with some AI art. Okay? Threw it together and put it out. And people were like, this has to happen.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. It was.
Yeah.
It looked like you were getting ready to share it, so I was going to say,
Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for him to share something.
Let me see.
But no, I'm telling you, really good stuff. And Blue Teddy says, and right after I said I never heard you be rude, but I have no clue of who these people are, and try to keep it that way. Keep them in the distance. Sounds like these are there's a lot of history. There is a lot. I learned a lot. I think that I've tried to find the best in people when other people said, "Look, there's no good in them." It wasn't in my nature.
I used to be able to say that. God, now I lost his name.
And you can be in this business for decades and get fooled.
Yeah.
By people who turn out to be just absolute terrible, like Luke said, garbage people.
Yeah.
You just really have to be careful.
Yeah, dude. Like maybe this might make no sense because I'm translating from Spanish, but there's a saying down here like nobody believes in the devil until they see him.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a telltale of dude. There's people who have bad intentions. There's people who are just basically there's evil in their nature.
Mm-hmm.
You have to recognize it and walk away. Like you don't need to stop them because it's not your job. That's for God to do.
Yeah.
But you don't need to be close to allow yourself to be like affected by that evil. So
there's a reason
I still pray for these
actual
people.
toxicity exists as a term.
Yeah, I know.
And that's my thing. I don't, the next door neighbor's dog, it's deceased now, but it used to take very large poops. I mean, very large, very stinky poops.
He's a healthy boy, yeah.
Yeah, he was a healthy boy. Big dog, big poops.
That's
Now,
what they say about
I
me.
know that's occasionally in my yard and I may have to clean it up. But I'm not going around, dirty poops, bang, bang, bang. I'm raging constantly about this dog taking dirty poops. Because the dog's going to do it. And some of these people are, you can't
Dave
blame
likes
a
you yelling.
rattlesnake for being a rattlesnake. A rattlesnake's going to bite you. A scorpion's going to sting you.
Yeah, dude.
You acknowledge it and you just go hands off.
Dude,
I don't know malice. I'm just not going to have anything to do with you.
Yeah, dude. There's something endearing about a dog taking a poop when he looks into your eyes as he's doing it. Like I can get mad at that.
Yeah, it's like, I know you couldn't help yourself, buddy.
Yeah, dude.
You had to go.
Go
You had
right
to
ahead,
go.
sir.
So here's the deal. I like to say, look out. When people are walking, I'm like, look out for there's some crap right there. But here's the deal. Like we are now, like I'm spending my days no longer suffering fools and only working with people that I see have a bright future. We mentioned the Genesis crew, so we're part of the Genesis crew. And this is a think tank of people in a Twitter group of all places that share ideas and stuff. And part of that was this Merkmaid meme that got put out, and now it's turned into a comic book written by Piper Steed and Pixel, and it is drawn by Eric Hodson, and it went from a meme to now it actually has story. Like there's a story behind it, and it's got content. It will make you laugh. It does hit on the tropes, but intentionally. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time, and a lot of that came out of working with people that are quality. You see the people that we have on this show. If you get a seat at this table, you're a quality person making quality things. You've got a future, because that's the kind of people we hang out with. This art is actually done by you, Pixel, right?
Yeah, this is done by me. So
awesome.
this is actually kind of funny. Is I got a few comments from people like, "I didn't know you drew."
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, I don't very often. I don't get a lot of time, but when I do, I try to challenge myself. And so this right here is actually me trying to adapt. I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with Cute Sexy Robots, but it's a really, really talented artist that creates these fantastic anime, just really sexy pictures and stuff. And I'm like, if I can even get 60% of that, I'll be onto something here. And so I tried to kind of copy that vibe. I think I got pretty close. It's not perfect, but it's a good piece of promotional art. And so I threw it together. Twitter absolutely hates it. So I have to mark it all the time. In fact, I made a special version just for Twitter, which is actually kind of fun. It's got the Twitter logo all over the body and stuff. And so actually, here it is right here. 1 second. I'll pull it up. And it's, you can't see that. Hold on here. There we go.
That's funny.
Yeah, and so as we're building up, we've got the story underway. Art's probably going to start towards the end of the year, looking at spring, more than likely to start the campaign. That should coincide with the launch of the Little Mermaid movie happening early summer, somewhere around there. We're going to try to kind of play off that swell and say, hey, if you don't like what you're seeing over here, we got a little something over here for you. So
a real redhead. Nice.
Yeah, we're going to roll with that. And then right now what I'm doing, I'm also selling these little charms that I ordered because I couldn't resist having something cool and kind of cool. And so what I'm doing here is, if anybody buys these charms in the US, it's shipped for free. It's $10 essentially, and what you'll get is a little charm. You also get a stack of stickers. I've got a bunch of random stickers in my desk that I add together. You also get a critical snail card, but the big thing here is that you're going to have access to a secret tier on the campaign when it launches. So nobody else will have access to that tier except for people that purchase one of these charms.
Very cool. Very, very cool. And yeah. So yeah, these are the kind of people that you need to hang out with, guys. People that are making things, that take ideas. It's like we're doing that Out of Obscurity anthology.
Oh God!
You know, it was. We were in a chat that someone was in there and was acting a fool, and wound up. He had everybody in that group, and then was just a real jerk and a moron, and we all wound up going over to another chat. And out of him leaving and being an idiot, we all said, hey, instead of just being someone's yes man, just to tell him how much we love him, how great we think they are, why don't we make something? Let's make something. And I had this spur of the moment idea, like, let's do an anthology that is short stories of public domain characters, you know, that stuff that nobody knows, but so that we can spotlight and highlight the talent that is in the room. You know, all the talent that he brought into the room, just to, you know, for them to tell him, hey, you're doing great. Way to go, buddy. you know, and instead of actually using their talent and abilities to say, hey, I need this, what do you think? And then taking the feedback. That's what this guy would do. He would have something finished, say, hey, what do you think? And then they would give criticism, and then he would freak out on him.
Oh no!
Because he didn't want criticism. He didn't want constructive criticism. He just wanted he wanted constructive compliments.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So very cool. That's what he wanted. But we said, hey, let's look at the talent we've got here and let's make something. And so we are in the process of making. Some of the pages are almost completely done. One of the stories I'm getting ready to letter. Probably in a week or two, we'll have the first pages completely finished. Telepathic Bunny is doing the original Ghost Rider, Rex Blaze, and the art. I'm telling you, he has been meticulous on these 6 pages, and has found tremendous artist, getting the right look and feel. Well done. I mean, it's going to be for his first published thing, that probably will be his first published thing. It's just going to look absolutely amazing. But we chose Out of Obscurity because the character's Out of Obscurity, but the creators are also, they don't have a lot of credits to their name, and so they're putting that out there in the world, and we're making something awesome. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it's a great project. I snickered not because of what he was saying. I want to make that clear. I read the chat, and Blue Teddy Narration said, "Lol, I watch streams while I work, and it's so high stakes when mostly nude art pops up, and I gotta casually hide the phone like nothing to see here, folks. Mind your own business, Janet."
Yeah, well, we try to keep we're safe for work, so everything is safe for work here. That is as risky as we get.
Risque.
Risque. Riscal.
Riscal will be back in beast form.
Who cares? Guys, we're getting ready to hit the 2-hour 30-minute mark. I think it's about time we close things down and get busy today. Got a lot to accomplish this weekend. I'm gonna be. Yep, we got work to do. Today I've got to get everything wrapped up. I'll get books packaged, but I will not have books shipped out. They won't ship out until Monday because I will be traveling tomorrow. We're leaving early tomorrow morning, going up to Clarksville, Tennessee. We're taking the first highway. We're not taking the last train. We're taking the car.
I hope you'll be avoiding Atlanta and Chattanooga.
Unfortunately, I will not be. We'll be going right through those things. So we're leaving early, so
Make
that
sure
we
you
can
go
get
real
in a
early.
reasonable hour.
Yeah.
So we can at least get in at a reasonable hour and have some dinner. It is another one-day show at Clarksville, and we're looking forward to hopefully touching a new market. I would be able to meet, yeah. Well, I will be meeting Hal. What's his name?
Justin.
Hal.
How?
The art of what is it? Well, Justin will be there, but another artist that I am friends with, and we've never met, and we've talked a couple times on Facebook, is going to be. He's tabling right across from me. So yeah, Zero Dark 30 Studios, I think, is what he has. So yeah.
Did I have an announcement to make?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tropical Magic Second Chance campaign coming up in November for everybody who missed the first campaign, and this is just for the printing, man. So as soon as the funds come in, it's just like what the printers tells us. We're getting great reviews in Tropical Magic right now, so guys, check it out. Be on the lookout for that one.
Oh, that is one of those titles I want to see as an animation. I want to see, there are certain ones that hit where I'm like, why isn't this a cartoon? And yes, I know that it has to go Adult Swim, obviously. It can't go like, but Tropical Magic, that's one I just want to sit back and be like, have you streamed this yet? No, I'm throwing something at you till you do. I will come back tomorrow with Nerf guns. Do not mess with
Manga happen.
Because that just it needs to be a fun late night animated show of vague insanity.
Yeah, I agree. So that's what's going on, Pedro. Tell them where to find you and anything you need them to know.
Oh, right now you can find me at the Twitters and as Gillis, right there. And yeah, like Tropical Magic Second Chance campaign coming at you in November. Waifus and Kaijus launching in spring. We're gonna launch the mailing list on November too. So be on the lookout for those two. And dude, Creative Monkey Farm is growing. That's my animation, my company. It's not a comic book company because we do animation too. But yeah, Creative Monkey Farm. Look for the monkey.
Look for the monkey.
Yeah.
Pedro, you need to hook me up with a commercial for your services so I can promote
Sean
it.
Howe. Sean Howe. That's who I'm. That's who I'm going to see. Sean's gonna be right across from us. We're all gonna go out to dinner and tell stories and have fun. He's doing a commission. He's gonna be doing a pinup for the Hybrid Universe. So yeah, very cool.
Cool.
Love a good pinup.
Pixel Trader. Pixel.
Yes, sir.
Tell them where they can find you. Anything else you need to know?
Easiest place would probably be pxl.cx. That's a link that I've set up that has pretty much a link tree format to everything I've got online.
Awesome.
He's one of these like smarties. One of these smarty pants.
Yeah, I try.
Smarty
We
pants.
respect it.
And I'm all like, he's definitely one of those people.
I know more than you.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I let EVS say it though. I've got that video somewhere. And unfortunately, I can't cue it up here, but yeah.
I'm sorry, the phrase "I let EVS say it." That is just such a power move in this area. Well, that's
hey, I'm gonna hit you up with my campaign once I'm ready, man. I'm checking out your page, IndieCron. Looks awesome, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And just let me know. I can help you get through the submission process. It's a piece of cake. I'm going to be refining that pretty soon. But
thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, Randy.
Oh, you can find me tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. on Comics by Night over on the Indie Comics Network, where we talk about we try to talk about the nuts and bolts behind doing sequential art. Sunday mornings, I have a program at 9 a.m. Eastern Time also on the Indie Comics Network called Sunday Funnies, where we talk about the comics and the stuff that we love, the stuff that keeps us inspired and keeps us doing what we're doing. Then on Wednesday nights, now at 10 p.m., keeps wanting to say 9 for some reason, 10 p.m., I do a show called the Zimcast, where we talk about the business and get a little opinionated about it. So all that's over on the Indie Comics Network. I can be reached on my Facebook page, where I run all of the shows over there as well. But we want you to go over to ICN and subscribe if you can. Other than that, look for Arrow Comics 4.0. The Rift Writers campaign has got 4 books that I'm associated with.
Oh, 4 books you're associated with, yeah.
The Revolt book that I've got stuff in that I put together. The HeroBot book, which is all mine. HeroBot Zero, it's pretty much all mine. I got one guy to do one short story. That's an awesome cartoonist. The Calico book that I wrote, that C. Michael Lanning did the artwork with, and Paragon that I wrote with J.R. What's the guy's? I'm having a brain fart too early in the morning. So that and Harris, J.R. Harris, did the artwork on that. It's all of those books are very precious to me. We were hoping that all of those books were going to be part of a big deal that went south, and I'm still going to keep producing them. So it might be a little slower than what we had planned, but we're just going to keep going.
Battle on.
So look for future campaigns, Arrow Comics in 2023. We got a lot of stuff coming, so it'll be fun.
I got something for you guys.
Ooh, what you got, Luke?
Oh,
here, let me share this. Give me 2 seconds, because I got to figure it out before I screw it up.
Later,
I'm not very good at stuff like this.
Yeah, later, tomorrow.
What's up? Yeah, later. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Share screen. Chrome tab. There we go.
The power of Chrome compels you.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Now
there's something.
Executor's a genius, man.
Nice.
Executor's a genius, man.
Those are the best. You know, you should make like a loop of it, like Happy VS said, like 15 times.
Oh no,
Executor's a genius, man.
Get Luke the audio file. We need to do a full techno of this.
Here's what we do. We take the audio, give the audio to Pedro. Pedro, you animate. You do an animation of EVS saying it.
Yeah.
And then we send that out to every CG show that's out there, so that they can so that they can have the clip in StreamYard.
Yeah.
Pixel Trader is a genius, man.
He's a genius, man.
That has to be his intro now. From now on.
It's awesome.
I still want to see like the techno remix of Pixels of Genius. Just Pixels is a genius.
Wow. Oh man, we digress yet again.
This is how we roll each and every day.
Nick, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me just about everywhere. I'm at the point where I'm just about jumping out of people's...
He's like the vid. He's everywhere.
Woohoo! I'm everywhere. The White-Winged Warrior, Chicken Man. Now that's an ancient reference long before my time. But I broadcast 5 times a week, 4 days.
And he still has this kind of energy.
Oh, this is nothing. I still have to put out... I want to put out 3 literal books. Not comic books, but actual books. By the end of the year is my goal. But we have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 till about 11 Eastern, whatever time it is. I do Nevermind the Furthermore, which is a show where it's a lot like this, where we talk about the chat, we talk about creators. It's more author-leaning, but artists, authors, we get together what tools work, kind of the perpetual drive against imposter syndrome and building each other up because a rising tide lifts all ships. That's kind of what I do. On Friday nights at 8, I do the Historical Fencing Guild, where we talk about sword fighting and how to train, how to adapt if you have physical limitations, where to get, I review gear. We talk about sword fights in movies and stuff. I am hoping to make a trip out because, unfortunately, the pumpkin invasion has begun. And, it is the duty of a certain type of YouTuber to do their part to slay back some of these dreaded pumpkins that are rolling across America.
What that means, folks, is he is going to hack pumpkins with swords. Jack-o'-lanterns getting cut up with swords and knives.
Yeah, like a Halloween version of Don Quixote, yeah.
Yeah! I need to make a hobby horse and just get a video of me charging at one of these windmills out here.
Yeah.
But I may just do that. But other than that, I'm about building people up. So I do that on Friday nights. Thursday mornings, importantly, this is the important, I'm on Nerd Bacon as the lovely co-host with the most. Where we talk about
co-host with the bro host with the mo host.
Host. See, always ascending, never declining. But where we get to build people up and mercilessly mock people, and it's just great fun. You can find my written works, which include The Simple Sword and the Fighting Axe, because I do teach people how to sword fight in plain English, and The Simple Spear. I need to get one of my copies over here to walk around. Plus the Big Stompy Robots line of games, all through Amazon. Just look Nicholas Tucker. I'm sorry, Amazon.com/author/Nicholas Tucker. You'll find all my works. You'll also find the important stuff, Hybrids of Sons of God, the Quick Play RPG on Luke Stone Studios. And I'm not just writing 1, but 2 little tiny projects for our boy Luke coming up. One I can talk about, which is Paul Bunyan Kaiju Slayer. And I need to get to the second chunk of that actually written because what happened to Babe is going to be golden. But
no.
Oh no, it's so much better than you think.
The Blue Ox?
It's people don't know, but there was a typo made, and I can't wait to explain this. But the other thing I want to talk about is, you won't get to see him for quite some time. So I want to start the slow creep of the hype. But for my humble efforts in building up Luke Stone's universe and a few bad guys and a few things that are tied to the RPG, that will then fall back into the later titles. I am very proud of a character that I came up with that will be starting to be highlighted in places, and it's one of those great honors, and I really am.
Trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring.
You know, I'm trying.
Just,
but
just a funny clip. Just a funny clip.
No, I know. It just, oh gosh.
You guys are in for a treat.
Oh, go.
Next spring, you're in for a treat. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Anyway.
But
all
that's
right.
coming. You can find I have a simple website with a lot of my links at nicholastalker.com. I'm on Twitter. A lot of people are following me on Facebook. If you want to just talk and hang out, the best place is Twitter, because my Facebook has a lot of relatives and stuff, and people get... It's funny, I get in more political BS on Facebook than I do Twitter.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's
Counter
weird.
to everybody else in the world, but since
Facebook's
I'm here...
a weird place now.
Yeah. What?
Facebook's a weird place now. I don't know why.
Well, yeah. Well,
I woke up and everybody over there's like, ree. I'm like, ooh.
I think it's the algorithms, personally.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, the algorithms are all over the place. But basically, I stream to Nicholas Tucker on YouTube, the Nicholas Tucker YouTube channel, where I do Nevermind the Furthermore and some art and some other fun stuff. There's more fun coming there. And the Historical Fencing Guild, which has live sword fights and the Nevermind the Furthermore again. I'm sorry. The Historical Fencing Guild live stream. There's more stuff coming out there too.
Holy crap, Nick!
Health issues. Look, I only have 2 comic books, 3 written books, 2 RPGs, 1 tactics game.
You just need one website to tell them to go to find all this stuff.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
And then people keep going, hey, Nick, here's an idea.
Yeah,
That's
just
basically...
stick it all up in one link, man.
Yeah, dude.
Holy cow.
Yeah, somebody please give Nick a job. Seems to be.
Nick has nothing to do.
Care of my son.
Nick has nothing.
I do
Obviously,
all this when I'm not in the couple hours he sleeps in.
Nick has nothing to do. He clearly needs some projects to work on.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man. I thought I was doing a lot.
I've been working on the series Bible for Why Women the entire time for this the entire time this show's been going on.
Why women?
I was like, I'm being productive. The Why Women.
Yes.
That is funny. That was funny. The Why Women.
There's potential there.
There's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of potential there.
I heard Spider-Man, and I just saw a guy flying through, throwing little shovels at people.
There's an entire company in that guy's little toy finds. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We should take those copyrights and run with them.
Do it. Let's do it. Let's get Don Chen involved with that one, man. He'd be perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right up his alley. Right up his alley. So guys, I'm Luke Stone. You can find me at lukestonestudios.com. I don't have nearly as many projects going as Nick, but I do have a slew of projects going, and you can find all of them over there. Please join the mailing list. I'll tell you, here's the deal. You don't have time to read the emails, and I don't have time to write them. So when I do, they're short, sweet, and to the point, and usually something that you need to know. So feel free to sign up. You're not going to be getting long books and explanations about things from me over there like some of these mailing list guys do. You're just going to get like, hey, we're going live on this date, or hey, we've got to sign up over here, or hey, I'm going to be in Clarksville, Tennessee this Saturday at some hotel and some hotel's convention center.
I can't wait till you're done with this con, so I stop having Last Train to Clarksville blast through my brain every time
you mention that name.
And Clark, fine, last train. I'll meet you at the station. If I have one more, my chiropractor. Okay, so I told him, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be gone this weekend. I'm going to got a convention in Clarksville. He goes, oh, you taking the last train? I said, you know I'm not gonna take the last train. And I said, if you're meeting me at the station, you can forget I'm not paying you for that visit.
Oh God. Guys, laugh. Don't be afraid to laugh. You're allowed to laugh at the funny parts, folks.
Yeah.
Took the last train out twice last year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I've already taken my last train. I took the last train and walked back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, you can find me at LukeStoneStudios.com.
You guys are COVID hobos. Is what
we are COVID hobos.
Another title for the company.
Oh my God, that was a good one.
The Kobos.
Keep writing. Yeah, write all these down. We got some work to do.
Yeah.
We got some work to do. Yeah, we got some.
Okay.
Band name called it.
Okay. COVID Hobos is a title about Randy and Luke in a buddy cop style post-COVID thing trying to stop the sorcerer who started COVID actually. You know, I just see him sneaking on trains and like
he's retiring at the end of the year. So we don't have to
Look,
worry
it's
about
Kobo.
Wow!
Pixel, what's Kobo? C-O-B-O, what is that?
Kobo?
COVID hobo.
Conjoining of COVID, hobo, Kobo.
Oh, okay. Hashtag Kobo.
We used to have a stadium up here called the Kobo Arena.
Hashtag Kobo. Okay, yeah, okay, I get it now.
Wow,
All
can we call back to Kafefi with this?
Kafefi.
Kafefi.
Martha Smithers.
Oh, God.
Oh my
Vonda.
gosh.
There's gold.
Never forget.
COVID hobos.
Yeah, check out the website for lots of merch, including their bacon merch.
Yes,
There's things up
please
there.
buy the merch.
Yeah, rep the brand. Yeah, again, we don't make money off of those things, but they are sent out pretty quick, and you guys get those. I do have a lot of books for sale on the website. Lots of books. You can also get the PDF forms of those books, but they obviously are coming in printed and coming in hot. I'll be adding this to the website over the weekend. They'll be live next week on the website where you can buy more. But I want to ship out all the pre-orders before I do that. So that is ready to go. And every time I crowd from the website, I'll be letting you guys know. And I'm going to be doing some of that still this year. We've got a lot coming out. And we are still working on the release for the RPG. Trying to find the right time to do this because we want to hit big with it. And I had some trouble with the cover artist. Curses.
This damn artist.
Spoiled again.
Oh.
You know how funny that is with what I got to see the dribble that was said. I hate to use that, but
Oh my gosh.
you guys know me. I'm usually the positive one around these parts. And when I'm like, no.
I handed this person everything they needed to do an amazing cover. And they came back with garbage that was copy and pasted and filtered using filters in Photoshop from the internet. And I'm like, you're not an artist.
It was worse than AI.
It was worse than AI.
It was so bad. I'm saying Jay should have just used AI. I'm sorry. Right now, Glenn B. Fleming's spinning because they have no talent. Like
They have no talent. They had no
about
talent. They had no
and
creativity.
In this case, he is correct, sir. They have no talent and they have not trained for the skill.
It's because of these people, though, that people want to just use AI.
Yes.
It's because there's people out there that label themselves as an artist or an animator or a creator or a logo designer. And they're just hacks. They are talentless hacks. Look, I got a bell from Zim. You know I'm preaching.
Got a bell for that one.
Can I take an offer in? By the way, use code NERD10 over at the Gemini Mailers, Gemini Mailing Services. So you can buy your stuff at a discount, 10%. It ain't a lot, but it's something.
Hey, it's a way to give back to the community.
Better than
right
nothing.
now, you need every little something you can get your hands on.
Oh God, I admit I'm
COVID
seeing the whole
hobos is
story
really freaking good.
about it was actually covering up COVID zombies running around. And the whole thing was,
my daughter and I are recording a Christmas album.
All draw the virus.
There's a song title or the
My daughter and I are recording a Christmas album in our style, And so our style is basically just like we vocalize the songs,
Okay.
and it's funny. Like they're not very long. It's just a joke we've been working on since she was, tiny. We would just in the car, like do these songs like together with the radio, and we're like, we got to record an album. Well, she found the band name the other day, Bilingual Tits. It's the name of the because we'll always we'll say something like a little phrase like that, and like, oh, band name called it.
That is
Like
so
COVID
inclusive.
hobos, like
So
COVID hobos.
inclusive. Yeah, bilingual tits.
Bilingual tits. It's like, yeah, who can complain about that? That's like,
Mhm.
I think
I'm getting a very non-PC idea in my head right now.
Oh, I love non-PC.
Yeah, 'cause are these memories on the same body, and are they different colors? Just
Yeah. Yes, their portfolio was very misleading. In fact, the samples they sent me, I'm believing they did not do it all. That they grabbed from somewhere in the on the internet and used those as their like, hey, this is what I can do. Because they asked what kind of style I want. I said I want a painted style, and so they found painted styles and showed me to get the job. And I only paid half up front, so they do have some of my money that I'll never get back. But I've learned you only do half up front, or a
that'll
quarter
learn you.
sometimes.
You try not to do anything up front.
Yeah, well, you try,
Always
but
pay for the job.
Yeah, I normally ask for a percentage just to start the work, but like asking 100% up front. Is it if it's offered? Like, dude,
if someone asks
God
100%, I
bless
will
you.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
if someone asks 100%.
Yeah,
If they're like, hey, I need 100% to start the job, I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen.
No.
It's just on cool bad form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
was rough,
really
and they were the second person we worked with on the RPG project that greatly disappointed us.
Oh, the first person just wanted to hijack it and take credit for it for herself.
Oh my god!
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, this is mine now." She tried to come in and cowboy it, and I'm like, "Wait a second, you
Yeah,
can't
like-
cowboy the cowboy." This was before the COVID thing, right?
Yeah.
So this was, I was less forward, is what I mean, and I was super forward with her. I was like, "Look, no, you can't do this. We're not happening, lady," and fired her pretty much on the spot.
You got me
after-
to lose my cool.
Yeah, after her tomfoolery, I fired. I said, "Look, we don't need your help. Here's some money. Have a good life.
Don't let the door
hit the bricks. Yeah, hit the bricks. Hit the bricks, babe." And so yeah, that was that one. Can you imagine how I'd be now?
Oh my! I do once in a while. Every once in a while, when I feel the need to imagine absolute destruction.
Yeah, this poor artist came back and said, "Oh, well, that's gonna cost me more money to do that. What you want?" And I said, "You said you could do it for the price you quoted. That's what I want. What you gave me was some copy baloney." I said, "You're a thief." And I said, I said all these things. I said, "You're talentless." I said, "I don't need your services." I said a monkey could do better than what you did. I was pretty mean, but that's just me.
Hey, monkeys are very crafty, man.
They are crafty. They
Mhm.
could do better.
Oh.
In fact, I might just give a chimpanzee. Down at the zoo they got the
They get paid in fruit,
adobos.
man.
What are they called?
Bonobos.
Bonobos. They got the bonobos down at the zoo. I'm gonna take a pencil and some paper down there next week. We got a zoo membership. I'm just gonna next week when we're over there. I'm like, hey, just sketch me up something real quick. I'm gonna use for the cover, and I'm pretty sure it'll be better.
Yeah, dude.
Just don't ask them to color it. That's one thing. Do not ask them to color it because they like brown pigments.
Yeah.
But that was terrible, and I should not have.
I want to thank the chat today. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate
And on
it.
that note-
You guys are awesome. You're fantastic. Do not sling poop. Remember, do not sling poop. Okay, we do not want to do that kind of stuff. If you're gonna lob bombs.
Yeah.
Of course, I slung a little poop today, didn't I?
I
named
did.
some names, slinging some poop.
But it
That's
was
okay.
necessary,
Pixel
yeah.
Trader, thanks for coming on today and sharing what you're doing. Appreciate that. Check out Immortal Era on Kickstarter right now. That book looks amazing.
We lost Pixel. Damn it.
Yep. Oh, he popped out. He's gone.
Yeah,
So
he's
anyway, remember, try to build up more than you tear down, and that's what I think I did today. I think I built up more people than I tore down. I tore down two.
We did a
Built
little
up three or
tearing,
four.
a little tearing
Yeah.
down, but
It's a little bit of, you got to
it
have
was
a little.
classy. It was classy.
It's classy. It's in a classy way, you know. Yeah, it's classy because I'm the one who knocks.
You're coming at my boy with the wrong tone. Do it again, and I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron. But
have you ever been stabbed in the face with a soldering iron? In high
It's
school,
been attempted.
In high school, okay, sad story. I'm not proud of this moment. In high school, I stabbed a kid through the cheek with my pencil.
Ooh.
This kid comes up. It was the last day of school, and he starts jawing at me, right? And he's just like insulting and, trying to make me. He's feeling high on the hog, just bet, whatever. And I look at him, and I said, and I was getting real mad. I saw the pencil and my eraser, and I said, listen, buddy. I said, if you don't shut up, if you don't stop wagging that tongue, I'm going to pin it to the inside of your cheek with this pencil. And he started, going off some more, and just going and wouldn't quit. So I grabbed the pencil, I stood up, and I shoved it right through his cheek, almost into his tongue. And his tongue moved over, but right through his cheek. I mean, it was sticking right out of his face, sticking out of his face. And I pulled it back out because, that was my pencil. And then, I proceeded to beat the snot out of him, and then I wound up going to the principal and getting sent home that day.
But did you get the pencil
last day of
back?
school?
Yeah, last day of school. And then so I just got to go home the last day of school.
But did you get the pencil back though?
Oh yeah, I kept it with me the whole time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I put it in my pocket. I was like, no,
He has it framed with a little bit of glass.
like I said, I'm not proud of it, but that was the kind of mean kid that I was before I got saved, right? God changed my life. I'm not that person anymore. Sadly, though, unfortunately, post-nap, I can feel some of that mean, that, like, I'm just tired of dealing with you. If you don't shut up, I'm going to pin that. Kind of that, like, I kind of feel some of that, and I'm like, man, obviously I'm not going to act like that, do that kind of stuff anymore. Thank God for the transformation. But yeah, so I try, now that to use my words. Like my wife says, use your words.
Use your words, not your pencils.
Words. Yeah. So I try to use my words to let people know how I feel, and I try to use them in a way that is intense, but also positive. Like I positively can't stand some people. So, but that's just how it is. All right, folks. Remember, build up more than you tear down. Leave the woodpile higher than you found it.
And let's be careful out there.
Let's be careful out there.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there. We had a 187 at the 7-Eleven on the corner of 4th and Main. 2 Caucasians of the male persuasion put a bullet through the cashier's brain. Moving on, I see it 211, half a dozen 459, 2 W's a GTA, civil miscellaneous crimes.